The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Stutter! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, June 16th, 2025. This program starts right now. Sports are happening all around us. Don't look now. We have a tied NBA Finals series. Don't look now. We have a brand new U.S. Open champion. Don't look now. We are one game away, potentially, from a back-to-back Lord Stanley Cup winner in the Florida Panthers. Sports are awesome. I mean, even the Pope led off his Father's Day sermon with chit-chatting about the greatness of sports. And I think I'd like to start right there, actually, because every day we get the opportunity to chit-chat about sports. And I feel like we have a passion for sports more than most people. We are lucky to enjoy the hell out of sports. We are lucky that my entire life, and I assume a lot of boys in here as well, has literally been committed to sports. Mr. Pope said, in a society marked by solitude, where radical individualism has shifted the emphasis instead of emphasis from us to me, resulting in a deficit of real concern for others, sport, especially team sports, teaches the value of cooperating, working together, and sharing. These are at the very heart of God's own life. Amen, amen. In an increasingly digital society where technology brings distant people closer together, yet often creates distances between those who are physically close, sport proves a valuable and concrete means of bringing individuals together, providing a healthier sense of the body of space, effort, in real time. It helps to preserve a healthy contact with nature and with real life, where genuine love is experienced. Amen, Mr. Pope. Amen, Mr. Pope. He would continue, in our competitive society where it seems that only the strong and winners deserve to live, sport also teaches us how to lose. It forces us, in learning the art of losing, to confront our fragility, our limitations, and our imperfections. It is through the experience of these limits that we open our hearts to hope. Athletes who never make mistakes, who never lose, do not exist. Oh. Amen, Mr. Pope.
Amen, Pope.
Amen, Mr.
Amen.
Pope. Sports are the greatest. Sports bring people together, and sports are happening all the time. I'd like to add there, Mr. Pope, if you don't mind. I don't want to, step on any cloaks.
Yeah, papal gowns.
Yeah, papal gowns or anything like that. I don't want to step on anything like that. Your
Excellency,
or
Your Highness,
or
your holiest of holies.
Yeah. I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. Also, learning to buy into something obviously bigger than yourself. Talk about teamwork, but working when tired too. Like working whenever you're tired, you don't feel good, but you still got to show up for other people. Sports are the greatest, and we're lucky as hell that we get to cover them. Shout out to sports, shout out to this weekend, and shout out to the people that will be joining us. Quinton Richardson will join us in a matter of 13 minutes. He's a 13-year NBA veteran, obviously friend of the program. He's going to be pretty pumped up by what Oklahoma City did to the Pacers.
No doubt.
So the sports books, who I called out. Mm-hmm. Stephen A. Smith, who I called out as well.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were all right. Okay, Oklahoma City got a big win on Friday.
UD,
that's serious. Yeah, UD obviously said tonight, I like the Pacers in 7. I do not like the Pacers tonight in Indiana. And he was right. Everybody was right. Oklahoma City covers in Indianapolis, Indiana, as the Thunder, with Scott Foster on the call. Mm-hmm. Not me. Other people are saying a lot of things about Scott Foster.
Mm-hmm. No.
NBA people are saying a lot of things about Scott Foster.
It's wild.
They even have a nickname for this guy. I had no idea. Everybody just kind of looks at it as the extender.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the extender. We're going to ask Q Rich about that. 71 free throws in one game. Okay, now the boys playing tough, I guess, more tough than they had been for the first 3 games. Nonetheless, it's 2-2, and everybody that had the Oklahoma City Thunder, who were the best team in the league all year, to go ahead and dominate the Pacers, they certainly showcased an ability to do that at different times, including at the very end of the fourth quarter. You know, when the Pacers made mistakes that they hadn't made all run. I can't wait to talk to Q Rich then. We'll also talk to Jeff Passan, because we talk about how awesome sports are, and obviously we know that the Pope is a sports fan. He's been seen with a Chicago White Sox hat on, and although the Chicago White Sox aren't a team we talk about a lot here, we love them though, Pope.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Pope, we love that they exist. We love that people are fans of theirs and everything like that. Tonight, it's showtime. Shohei Ohtani will be back on the bump, pitching in the majors for the Los Angeles Dodgers against the San Diego Padres. They call them the Slam Diego Padres.
That's right.
We're talking about big bats bopping big wood, and Shohei Ohtani's back on the bump. He's pitched in 3 sim games. I'm not 100% sure what that is. We'll talk to Jeff Passan about that. He's thrown 44 pitches. They say this guy, he's doing good.
He's ready.
That's right.
He's doing good.
Feels good.
Remember, a couple years back, this guy, the reason why we love him so much, not only because he's an incredible batter and not only because he's incredibly beloved in Japan, which is obviously making the sport more popular worldwide. Not that it wasn't popular in Japan already. Jesus, we did the COVID break with you guys. We appreciate the Asian love of the sport of baseball. But what Shohei Ohtani has done for the MLB, what he has done for every team he's been a part of, whenever he was with the Angels, the reason why we learned about him is because this guy was Babe Ruth. There hadn't been somebody since Babe Ruth who was doing the things that Shohei Ohtani was doing. He was pitching over 100 miles an hour. He was hitting balls off the bat over 100 miles an hour. First player to ever do that. And then he won the Super Duper World Classic on the mound against the United States, Mike Trout. And it's like this guy is not only one of the best pitchers in the world, he might be the best hitter in the world. And now we have an opportunity to see if he's going to be able to do this for the rest of his career. Because all any of the baseball purists said was, this guy can't major in both, brother. So I happen to be a punter and a kicker coming out of college, okay? Kicking field goals and punting. Much less important to the game than what Shohei's doing. I'm not acting like that is the thing. But it's 2 very different kicking motions. It's a lot of reps. The amount of practice you need for one of those things to be the top 32 in the world, let alone 2 of those things to be top 32 in the world. No real NFL coaches or scouts thought there was an opportunity to do both. I thought I had the ability to be able to do both. I was mistaken. Now, I assume there will be somebody that comes along that's strong enough, because the strength you have to have in your arm, that amount of pitches, then also, hey, we're going to be batting whenever we're not pitching. Every day we're working. Pitchers usually get that break. You know, they have all that shit. He wouldn't be able to do that. Then to focus on hitting a ball, it's incredibly difficult. That's why people's best averages are like 300 and some, only 30%. So to be able to focus on hitting enough to become and remain one of the elite hitters in the league while also becoming a pitcher that is one of the elite pitchers in the world seems impossible. But if anybody can do it, Shohei Ohtani. And we will find out if that'll be what the rest of his career looks like starting tonight, or if he's going to fade back away from pitching and just be the hitting machine that he has become for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Jeff Passan will give us more information on that in about 30 minutes or so. In the second hour, we have TNT ringside reporter and WWE Raw commentator Jackie Redmond joining us in the second hour to chit-chat about this Florida Panthers team.
Man.
Florida Panthers in the 3rd straight Stanley Cup Finals, as the reigning Stanley Cup champions, have been absolutely dominant.
Yeah.
They tricked off a 3-0 lead that gave Edmonton Oilers supporters and hockey fans as a whole a little bit of hope that this thing might continue. And then in Edmonton, in their bun, just go ahead and they 5-2 this thing, but it was really 4-1 game. And Marchand, who got traded from the Boston Bruins to the Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers reigning Stanley Cup champions. Get Marchand traded to their team. Fits in absolutely perfectly. Now he's potentially going to win the Conn Smythe Award, which is the MVP of the playoffs for the Florida Panthers. And I put a tweet out yesterday as it was kind of all unfolding. It's like, yeah, it might have been an act of grand theft by this Florida Panthers franchise. And the Florida Panthers fans are going to say, yeah, just like we said it was.
Yeah.
They are the state of hockey is how they believe. And Boston's not just trading away hockey players.
No.
They're trading away baseball players as well. And then we'll have Shams Charania joining us at about 1:40 to discuss all things happening around the NBA. The Toxic Table was here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Ty Schmidt, happy Father's Day. I hope it was a great one for you, sir.
Thank you. It was phenomenal. A little more so now that when the kids are getting a little bit older and it's not just changing diapers and doing bottles and stuff like that. You actually get to play with them. I know you guys had the same opportunity. So it was incredible. Anytime you get to spend a full day with your kids, it's the best. So, and the weather was good yesterday. It was a great weekend. It really was.
It was fantastic. I did a little painting.
Yeah, boom.
Oh, yeah.
This is my daughter's dinosaur. We painted this together. Hers much nicer than mine. I don't know the rhyme or reason, but this particular dinosaur roars very loud.
Yeah.
I will say this thing is probably, it was, oh, Jesus. Oh, no. I read the Pope, though, so remember that.
Yep. All right, perfect.
Actually, dinosaurs and Jesus got along quite well.
That's true.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of conversation about about all of those.
Sure.
And then let alone aliens. You drop those into that convo, too. Everything really starts.
It gets a little messy.
Yeah, it does. But sports. Yeah, my daughter and I kicking around soccer ball yesterday. Got pretty excited. She was able to do it. Great Father's Day weekend, but great sport.
Yeah.
And Father's Day weekend always brings a tournament that the course kicks the shit out of the golfer. Let's go to one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, AP Tone. Tone, happy Father's Day to you as well. U.S. Open. Oakmont really started showing her teeth.
Oh, she did.
And there was one golfer, a guy that seemingly his story was could never win. This guy, good golfer, beloved by everybody, could never win. Now you're a U.S. Open champion. Has to feel good for J.J. Spawn. But Oakmont really showcased itself, as did Pittsburgh. Everything we've been talking about when it comes to Pittsburgh.
Yep.
There was. Mm-hmm. You saw the elevation, the hills, crazy, absolutely crazy. We saw the person with the putter from 122 yards out, right down the hill onto the green. Beautiful touch by that person, by the way. I don't know how they got that to 8 feet. That's a wild thing with how good those golfers are. The rain, hey, it's going to rain. Mm-hmm. It was actually percentage of days in a year where precipitation happened. Pittsburgh, I believe, was more in Seattle and like all these other places that a lot of people say there's a lot of rain. It'll rain in Pittsburgh. Yep. That's why they're ready for this thing. And just like the president of the U.S. Open Super Chair said immediately afterwards, the amount of yinzers that committed and volunteered to take care of this course, and obviously the people that work and the groundskeepers at Oakmont Country Club got an award at the end of it. They were taking care of it. 200-some thousand people came through, even with the rain delays. I feel like everything that was Pittsburgh was being celebrated at the Oakmont this weekend, but she was kicking some ass, AP Tone.
Yeah, let's start right there with the course, and let's talk about her. She did show her teeth as the tournament went on. Thursday was the most gettable it was going to be. The leader was at -4 on Thursday, and then that number was not exceeded the rest of the tournament. 1,541 players have played at Oakmont during a U.S. Open. Only 29 of them have finished under par. That is 1.8%. And you saw some of the best golfers that have ever played golf just so incredibly frustrated all weekend long. Rory was very, very frustrated. He did make the cut, though, but, I mean, one of the coolest club tosses of all time.
On purpose. A lot of people saying he was mad. I think he was just like, I can do good stuff. It looks like I can't do anything good because I'm golfing right now, but look, I can bang, boom. I know the sport a little bit. I liked what he did there. That wasn't his only club throw.
No.
Yeah, Rory was letting those things fly a little bit out there. He was getting frustrated, and then he's at broken box. How you doing? Keep it moving. It's Oakmont. Somebody went after the locker room. The thought of Rory right now, we would like let Rory know, hey, it's going to be all right, bud.
Yeah.
This too shall pass. Whatever it is. There's something.
It's something.
There's something. And he's missing the interviews.
Something.
And then he's talking to him going like, yeah, I'm allowed to not be interviewed. Do you think the PGA should change that? No. I think it's a really nice thing that they actually have. And they've given his answers, then the body language on the course, the way he's playing, the way he's reacting. It's like, it feels like there's a lot. And maybe it has just been the weight of being the PGA Tour. Rory really put it upon himself. He was kind of being considered Mr. PGA there for a while. And then whenever he would go into majors, and then the live guys would get there, it was like Rory was being, hey, you need to represent here for the history of golf. Not just for now, but for the history and the good of our sport that is so based off of tradition. You need to save all the history. For a long time, it was that way for Rory. Then obviously there was some personal stuff that happened we all heard about. And then now he's back to the game, won the Masters, and then it's like the way he's acting, it feels like there's something going on.
Yeah.
He's soft.
What?
Yeah,
Whoa. You don't know that.
No, but I mean, the greatest crowning achievement in the guy's life happened this year at the Masters, and we're already crying about something like, hey, sorry, dude, you're Royal freaking McIlroy. Everyone wants to talk to you. Okay, it's a U.S. Open. I agree. He has earned the right to do whatever he wants.
Which he actually said.
Yeah, which he said, and I think that is a very valid thing because he does have a Grand Slam, but quit your bitching and moaning Okay, Rory, everyone's not having a good. I genuinely think everyone who was golfing this weekend, aside from JJ Spawn, had a miserable time.
Well, JJ Spawn even had a miserable time there for a bit. Go ahead, Tone.
He did. He had a miserable time to start yesterday's round. He bogeyed 5 of the first 6 holes. Now, he caught a bad break. He hit it off the flagstick, and it rolled back, I don't know, and you talked about the hills, 300 yards. Here he is.
Second hole.
Yes, second hole. He started his day with the bogey. Looked really good here. Puts it to, I don't know, 2 feet. Hits off the flagpole. And then, dude, this thing.
It's like a Steel Phantom.
It is like a Steel
I think it's
Phantom.
going down a roller coaster right there. Steel Phantom back up and operating.
Is that the
Okay.
one that
Yeah, it is.
paused?
But that's every once in a while it stops. Instead of dropping you off, it says, "Hold on, we got to pause for a second," like that. It was Plum Kennywood Day too. Happy they got that fixed. Everybody needs it. Yeah,
Jeez.
allegedly Plum's Kennywood Day. Nonetheless, this ball rolls all the way back to his feet. He's getting bullied by the course.
Yeah, JJ Spawn shot a 40 on the front 9. It looked like he was out of it, and then the course and the rain really showed up. There was an hour and 40-minute rain delay where we got to see Tiger 2008 U.S. Open just absolutely dominate.
That was fun.
Awesome.
How about when he's laughing and covering his face?
Yeah.
I can't believe that went in. He knows.
Yes.
Now that we know, looking back, who he is, it's like he's laughing like that because he's like, I'm better than
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so much better than all these guys.
The putts he was making.
And he is, by the way, rolling that summit, just like
Yeah.
on the 18th, which we should go to here for JJ Spawn.
Yeah, JJ Spawn on the 18th, after his approach shot, he puts it to 64 feet. He has to 2-putt here to win the U.S. Open.
Or they would delay it till this morning
Yes.
for extra holes.
He does not 2-putt. He sinks the thing for a birdie. Birdie's the last 2 to win the 125th U.S. Open at Oakmont in dramatic fashion. That's obviously his wife and kids there. One of his kids was thrown up at 3 a.m. the night before. He had to go to a CVS.
Which we have been to that CVS, I believe.
Yes, we have. It's a beautiful CVS.
Great CVS, always got your back, including at 3 a.m. if your kid's puking. JJ Spawn rolls in there and says, well, we got to get some Pepto or something in here. Don't we need something? And then all of a sudden you win the U.S. Open later that afternoon on Father's Day with your coaches were the two that were jumping and hugging each other at the beginning. Hey, maybe J.J. Spawn comes and moves. I know they kept saying he's from California. He's from California. I think he might be a Yinzer. I think he needs to come move to Pittsburgh, maybe experience life a little bit better.
He was 150 to 1 to win the tournament when it
Jeez.
started. That is the second longest over the last decade. Phil was 250 to 1 when he won the 2021 PGA. And that 64-foot putt was the longest all week long from anyone in the tournament.
Yeah, and he the 65 was the lowest. It was like the 4th lowest in the history of the opener at Oakmont.
Yeah, and his first round, he started off. He had the lowest front 9 of all time with a 31, and then he didn't bogey in that first round either, which he's the only second player to do that at the last 2 Oakmont Opens.
Greg Harvey, between the numbs, statistical genius on X, he does
He's
get
good.
him up.
Yeah.
He's doing really well.
Yeah.
Greg is rolling right now. Players in at least 60 years to win the U.S. Open despite having a bogey or worse on 5 of the first 6 holes on the final day. JJ Spawn. That's a tough start. Mental toughness.
Yeah.
3 a.m. CVS. Okay, so that's going to CVS. You're driving like this. This ain't no easy drive either.
Doesn't know where he's going either.
It's
probably.
Pittsburgh. These roads are.
Shout out 24-hour CVS.
Yeah, shout out to Pittsburgh, too, for being a great host. But these roads, this shit is, you're in there now. Down Holler, you're
a brick road.
You're going down in there. So he's on back to bed till what, 4:35 probably.
If he
Maybe.
Maybe he's just up for the rest of the day.
Exactly.
He gets that first hole. This sucks. Dang. Bogey. Second hole. Let me line this thing up perfectly, I guess. Boom. Hits off the flagstick, comes rolling back to him. He's like, what did I do?
Okay.
What did I do to you? Asking the golf gods. Then he'd go on to have 3 more bogeys. And then somehow he's still able to process, keep positive, and finish that thing off, especially when the course had been beating everybody's ass. He said the rain break was a good refresh.
Yeah.
Was able to hit the reset button. Golf's impossible. Watching those guys bum out, like Burns having a full crash out there.
Oh, man.
Dude, I liked the way he was golfing.
Yeah.
I loved the way
He's
he was
attacking.
He was absolutely going after it. And this was a big scene because how much water kind of exploded whenever he hit that. He said, I should have got relief. He asked 2 officials if he could get relief because there's a standing water rule. We were trying to look it up, figure it out earlier. We're not super golf people. We apologize. That's where the ball was sitting. Look how much water is rolling around. The entire course was flooded. JJ Spawn actually on his, I don't know what iron it was.
I think it was a 6 if I remember.
Maybe
the
6 or
broadcast.
7 iron, 2-hole, 202 yards here. He's hitting it. There's water that exploded as he hit it as well. I think the entire course was obviously drenched from the rain that had come down. But you saw a lot of guys, act out of the ordinary. That's U.S. Open football.
That's right.
That is U.S. Open football. Shout out to Oakmont. Shout out to NBC for the coverage all weekend. Shout out to J.J. Spawn being the new U.S. Open champ and his family. I love the way they all reacted too. His kids are sitting there with him. Mm-hmm. Coach is going crazy.
He's crying.
His caddy jumping on top of him on the green.
Yeah.
And then the reactions from everybody as they watch him kind of do it.
Oh, yeah.
Even McIntyre, who's back there in the scoring room, potentially waiting to see if there's little overtime holes. He goes, wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
That's Bob McIntyre.
Holy shit, man. Wow. I guess you win. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Massive mitts, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Massive frying pans as he's smacking those things back and forth. Congrats to JJ Spawn. Feels like everybody loves him.
Now, did he play his best? No. He was visibly frustrated all week long on the range for hours after. Scotty Scheffler still finished in 7th.
I thought there was a time he was going to come back.
Yeah,
he was like +4 and 4 under. I think it was when they started. And nobody had, I think it was a combined score of like 4 over or something in the last 2 groups. There's 3 groups. They were talking about how everybody that was at the top of the leaderboard was working its way this way. And everybody down here was just kind of waiting for him to kind of fall down to him. I was like, is Scotty about to...
There's a lot of
He's plus 20,000. I threw a couple on it just because.
Because if he ends up even, which Scotty Scheffler certainly could.
Oh, yeah.
At that time of the day, it's like there's a chance that he's really in this. Winner at 1 under is insane, and that's exactly how the U.S. Open likes it.
He birdied 17 to go 3 over, and at that point the leaders, I think, were all at +1. That was before Spawn went birdie, and then he bogeyed 18. If he birdied there, though, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, golf is great. You know what else? The NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Being a sports fan isn't easy, is it?
No, not at all.
YouTube TV gets avid sports fans to feel more at ease, knowing they have access to all their favorite sports and live TV in one app.
Wow.
It's all right there. Live TV, sports, one app. And guess what? Quad box capabilities.
The best.
You want to watch this, Foxy, what's that show that is definitely not on YouTube TV, but one of those reality trash shows that you love watching?
Let's go Love Island.
Let's say Love Island was on YouTube TV, which it is not, but let's just say it was. You'd be able to put that on a screen alongside your NBA Finals game.
Yep.
You'd be able to put the WNBA Fever game right there next to the U.S. Open, especially if Caitlin Clark is returning and going absolutely bananas on the basketball court. That's because YouTube TV was thinking ahead for all these other companies. They're the first ever to make our life a lot easier. You scan this QR code right now, you'll get YouTube TV for $59.99 for 2 months. Shout out to YouTube TV. NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV. Joining us now is our NBA expert. Ladies and gentlemen, 13-year NBA veteran, friend of the program, Quinton Richardson.
Yeah, Q-Rich.
Sweet shirt. You look cool.
Hey, what's up, fellas? What's up?
You look really cool right now. Really, really cool. I mean,
Thank you.
Looking at the whole setup here, we got a Jordan golf bag back there. Obviously, that has to be five shoe boxes stacked on top of each other, at least over your right shoulder there.
It's actually my wife is on me right now, so excuse it. It's actually shoes all the way across the bottom of here. You can't really see them. They're all across the back.
Okay, all right. Well,
And those are definitely all shoes with culminating with the 3-point contest trophy. I did that. That was 2005. 3-point contest champion. That can't never go nowhere.
leather ball inside.
Yep.
Leather ball inside. That's where that trophy was won. Yeah,
Exactly.
rubber ball
Exactly.
outside, 20-mile-an-hour winds. Going to be tough.
No chance.
I mean, speaking of tough, the Pacers ran into, another one here with Oklahoma City. Late in the fourth, Pacers kind of give this one away. The big conversation about it, though, and I tweeted it out in the first quarter because it appeared as if there was some biases going against the Indiana Pacers with some of these calls. Now, that was literally in the first quarter. As the game would continue to roll on, I think the Pacers got some favorable calls as well. But 71 free throws in a finals game, obviously the most in the history. And then that immediately starts a conversation about Scott Foster, who obviously we all know because he's been reffing in the NBA for 1,000 years. Literally everybody has basically the same opinion about Scott Foster, it seems like, except for Rick Carlisle. Shout out, Coach. Atta baby, Coach Carlisle.
Yeah.
Win him over. We might have him. Might have him next game, Coach. That's a good call. But what is it about Scott Foster you think that draws such a reaction from everybody, former players, media, fans, you name it? I mean, this guy takes 17 steps here, pushes off, then hits it, knocks it down right in front of Tyrese's family. I mean, there's a lot happening there. But why is Scott Foster such a lightning rod? And what are your thoughts on officiating in the NBA as a whole? Because it feels like they can call that shit whenever they want.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts. I mean, I've always had, I've gotten my fair share of technicals. Let me say that I've gotten ejected and tossed out of a few games. I've gotten my technicals, my flagrants, and all of those things. So I get it. But for me, man, I think everything has such a microscope on it for it to be foul play. I mean, everything. You just spoke about how many players, how many articles, how many different people have talked about Scott Foster, how he's a lightning rod. So to me, I know how thorough the NBA is. I know they cross their T's and dot their I's. So when I look at everything, I just got to say that when they do the reviews, he comes out clean because he's one of the highest graded officials. He works the finals every year and things like that. And those guys that don't do well, they don't get those privileges. They don't get to do all-star games and playoff games and ultimately the final games. This is as big a deal for them to get to do these as it is for the teams.
That right there was called a flagrant. All right, let's relax. Caruso went bananas, which we will talk about again. Yeah, this guy.
Dog, you guys gotta love Caruso, man. You gotta love. I mean, I know you don't want his team to win, but you gotta respect what he does out there, right?
Yeah, all Italy team. Yeah, we love Caruso. We are big Paisan Caruso fans. And when I got the microphone in the fourth quarter, once again, I was asked if I would like to do this. This is not like me saying, "Oh, I need the microphone." And now that we've lost the game, by the way, okay, hey. I was undefeated there for a little bit. We need to go ahead and change up a little bit of the attitude. But whenever I was literally thinking about going, hey, Caruso, relax, literally, because I thought like maybe he would get it. But the last thing we needed is Pat McAfee calls out player during NBA Finals like that. I didn't want to get off. But he was awesome to watch on Friday, as was the fact that this Shea dude's unbelievable. Coach Daggs obviously had a response. Lou Dort and the Dortcher Chamber's a real deal. Pacers obviously the team that I am pulling for, the team that I am wishing would win the NBA Finals so that we can have a Lario parade around this city. It would be great. But the Pacers didn't finish. The Pacers are great in the fourth quarter. We missed a couple big-time free throws. We threw up some air balls late whenever we would normally knock those shots down. Why do you think that was the case? Was that OKC forcing the Pacers to play bad late? Or do you think that was the Pacers just not showing up in this particular case?
No, I think the Pacers showed up. I think if you really review it and go back and look at it, that last 4 or 5 minutes, man, OKC looked like who they had been the whole season. They were the best defensive team in the NBA, and they locked up. Like, you got to give credit to Chet Holmgren because they were kind of seeking him out in the pick and roll, trying to ISO him. And he was out there contesting. He was moving his feet. He was getting there with his length. He can contest shots late, and that he deterred shots. I mean, I can't speak for the free throws the guys missed, but the actual plays out there, they defended them well, man. They turned their defense way up. Like you say, Caruso, he was getting deflections and deflecting passes and getting in the passing lane. J-Dub turned up defensively. Shea had a block on a Halliburton three-point contest. So they amped their defense way up, and it was in the best time to do it. Then, Shea, after that little stumble shot you guys didn't like where you thought he pushed off, it was a free throw contest from there. They just made more free throws than him. It was no field goals made.
Yeah, Mathurin, who has been great for us, and obviously a lot of people talking about him being one of the only guys in the history of the NBA Finals being under the age of 22 and having 25-plus points in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. He misses too late that he would never that would never happen again, and that basically puts it away because it was a 4-point game, could have been 3-point game, could have been 2-point game. Instead, it stays at 4. We have to foul. This thing's over, and they cover, which is a heartbreaker, Q Rich, especially whenever you call out the sports books. Let's look ahead to tonight. Do you think the Pacers are able to respond? Because they haven't lost back-to-backs since March. I know that's not as long as the Oklahoma City Thunder, but the Pacers also have a bounce-back factor in their resume as well.
Yeah, no, this is to me the team. I know it's not popular to say. I feel like whoever wins this game tonight wins the series. I truly do. I think I know it's a lot of stats that go that way, but I'm just going off the way that this series has gone. Because if you just go off the next 3 games, one win, like you said, if the Pacers stick today, they didn't lose back-to-back games, then you favor them. because you expect them to win tonight, and then OKC win Game 6, and then Pacers win Game 7, right? So for me, it's whoever wins this game tonight. They can obviously you go up 3-2 and you take control, but I think they actually win the next game following that. I think it ends in 6.
Big.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
That could be great news.
I like that. That means Pacers winning at home.
That'd be great. I told you boys when I was there. I am not like some guy with the pom poms for OKC or Indiana. I'm here for good basketball. I don't have a horse in the race. And like I said, if I was gonna be doing the homer thing, it would be for the Magic. But we all know they're not there right now. It's on 2 teams, and they aren't one of them.
Yeah, we will talk about them in a matter of moments. Let's finish up the NBA Finals convo before we talk about the Orlando Magic. Wheeling and dealing. You get 100 first-round picks. We'll talk about that here in a second. Obviously, Oklahoma City's atmosphere is about to be insane tonight. I got a text from Big Perk before he said it on air. He was like, you need to come Oklahoma City and experience that. And he said on the post show, he said, nobody needs to get on a microphone and tell everybody to make noise either. I thought that was hilarious. Like, I saw a lot of people saying, like, shut up, Perk. I disagree with that completely. I loved everything that Perk said, especially because the standing ovation that Perk got at that place a couple weeks back whenever he was out there. I love that he's representing for them, and I hope tonight is an insane environment because the Pacers thrive in that. On that note, we need one Pacer to start thriving again. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Q Rich, what do the Pacers need to do to get Miles Turner going? Because outside of the kind of down the stretch in Game 3 where he had a couple big defensive stops, blocks, that kind of stuff, he's kind of been a non-factor in the series, and obviously like they need his production a little bit more to try to beat the Thunder. So what do they need to do to kind of get him comfortable and get him going early tonight?
They need to get him some easy buckets, man. They need to get him a lob play or a layup at the rim. Not most of his shots, if you notice, they either a 3-pointer or a 17, 18-footer. It's not a lot of things going to the basket, getting him downhill or him getting the ball at the rim. So I feel like as a big man, I mean, anybody, period, when you don't have the ball in your hand much and then you just out there playing and then next thing you know you get an open shot, it's not always easy to just catch it and you haven't had the feel of the ball and then just start making shots. Sometimes it happens, but sometimes it doesn't. And I feel like for him as a big man, he hasn't had a real feel for the game. So, like, he needs to get something closer to the basket where he get fouled, get some free throws, or get something easy before it's actually like swing, and he's shooting a deep 3, or swing, and he's shooting a step back or something like that where he has to make a move and shoot a jump shot right away.
Let's take the lid off this thing. Let's make the hoop a little bigger. Let's get some easy ones in here. Let's see it go through the bucket a little bit, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
I feel the same way. You know, if we're shooting in here, those first couple fall, can't tell me nothing.
Exactly.
That hoop's this big. That hoop is this big. That's why when Tyrese thinks about pulling it early tonight, pull it.
Pull it.
Pull it, Tyrese. Because if that thing, hey, why don't you?
Yeah, maybe think about having one here.
Yeah, Tyrese.
Maybe time to have one.
Yeah, and you were thinking about having one. Now would be the time
to actually have one.
Yeah, he should do that all the time.
Yeah.
Excited to watch tonight. Let's move away from the NBA Finals. Thunder, 9.5-point favorites at home tonight. I'm not saying anything.
They were game 1, too.
Pacers plus 10. I mean,
kind of a late.
Well, they've won 10 straight after.
Think about it. Think about having one there.
This would be one.
Think about having one.
You're thinking about having one.
Yeah.
Haven't lost back-to-back games since March. And once again, I called out the sports books very loudly. And they were right in that particular case. So I don't want to, say too much here, and wouldn't want to say give advice on anybody on what you should bet on, because we were in that world for a few years. It's the worst world to be in, because people tell you that their kids can't have Christmas anymore because you think that fucking football team was going to score points. So that's not a good world to be in. But just know that myself, like the Indiana Pacers plus 9.5.
There.
Okay.
I like Tricky Ricky plus 9.5.
Tricky Ricky.
Bingo. Okay, let's move away from the NBA Finals and let's go to stuff happening in your neck of the woods. Go ahead, con man.
Yeah, Q Rich. Desmond Bane was disrespected immensely over the weekend when he got traded to the Orlando Magic for 4 firsts, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Cole Anthony. I believe I saw a stat the Orlando Magic were last in three-point percentage and three-pointers, and it kind of makes sense going back to last year because they made that huge run at Klay Thompson before inevitably losing out on him. What do you think about this trade? And do the Orlando Magic immediately become one of the better teams in the East? And because of this, do you think Giannis gets traded for 15 first-round picks?
I don't think so, man. My understanding of the draft picks and things like that is that the Magic were about to be in that first apron, and I think the moves that they made in doing it this way kind of relieves that and gets them out of that. I'm not sure. I think that's what it's supposed to be doing moving forward, but I hated to see KCP go. That's my young boy from Detroit. He actually lives in literally the same neighborhood as me. We're neighbors. Our kids and our wives are friends. So I hated for that to happen. But I understand them getting Baines and bringing him in and what he adds. He, like you said, we were the last rated team in 3-point shooting. He obviously is an outstanding 3-point shooter. But also he plays. He defends. He plays the other side of the ball. He's hard nosed. He does well.
What's he do?
I say he's hard-nosed. He plays the other side of the ball. He defends. He's a two-way player that can shoot the ball really well.
And?
Yeah, that's where I stopped at.
Now he's bopping wood. You need to bop wood. You want to win. You know that. So Orlando Magic fans view this as like we're going all in here because anytime you're trading away 4 first-rounders, I mean, that's a big investment. Now, we'll have Shams Charania in the next hour explain to us how the NBA trades work because Luka AD seemingly – like a swap, and then Bane, great shooter.
Oh yeah,
4 first-rounders, and I don't think I fully comprehend how it all works. Go ahead.
I didn't either. I was like, what in the heck is going on right now? Like, I was calling my agent. My agent kind of explained it to me a little better. Jeff Wexler, he was like, no, it's kind of more housekeeping. You'll see as things play out. I think they just trying to keep themselves out. Because, that first and second apron, this is all new to me. That didn't exist when I was in the league. But, that's a real deal. And that's why you're about to see a lot of the teams have to, the Celtics have to shop guys and do all that because of the first and second apron is, crazy expensive and teams trying their best to stay away from that.
I'm fascinated by how the NBA operates. 8th guy off the bench, we get a $70 million deal.
Yeah.
Somebody that I've definitely heard of Mr. Bane, this guy, when he gets the ball in his hand. Oh, my God. The bucket starts getting worried. Oh, no, we're about to get penetrated. Right? You know what they say?
Yeah. Shooter.
Yeah, because Bane's got the ball in his hands. But 4 first-rounders is just insane to see because I think the way the NFL views first-rounders versus maybe how the NBA views first-rounders is just a little bit different. I don't know. We'll talk to Shams in the next hour. Speaking of the NFL and the NBA, there's always a debate.
Always.
There's always a debate, How many NBA guys could play in the NFL? I think there's a few dogs out there, obviously, that could. How many NFL guys could play in the NBA? Well, the conversation is always, not tall enough, not athletic enough. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Q, I do. Keon Coleman this weekend, wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, was playing at DeMar Hamlin's charity game against some really, really good competition, and he dropped 60. He's an absolute bucket. He played at Michigan State.
Hot sizzle.
Basketball.
No holding.
Boom.
Oh, my.
So
are you talking? He's got that. He's Escalade. Rest in peace. Professor meets hot sauce out there on the court. That is who Keon Coleman is. Q Rich. Hi! And he's rocking rims. He's rattling rims.
Bang.
Give me that. Step back. This guy's, triple dink, dog. And then he goes high glove side. Are you kidding me? Keon Coleman, absolute monster. Go ahead, Tone. I think you were going to ridicule. Oh, off the backboard, he started to himself. Go ahead.
Who was I going to ridicule? Nobody. I was saying they're playing really good defense, and Keon Coleman's awesome. He played at Michigan State, I believe, for basketball. How many NFL guys you think could make it in the NBA?
I think it's definitely probably a few. He looked like he could have a chance, but I mean, like you said, the height thing is a real thing. These guys like Pat marvels at how tall and how many basketball players are way taller than me, and he says I'm tall. So I mean, that's the biggest challenge for me. I mean, you got Keon Coleman is what, like 6'4", 6'3"?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. He'd be going up against like Bane. That's like he's a guard. He'd be small in the NBA. He'd be really small.
Okay.
And he looks like he's an unbelievable athlete, and then he can shoot and handle the ball. So I mean, I give him I think he'd have a great chance. He looks like he's a hell of an athlete, and like I say, he definitely looks like a legit baller. Like when he's handling the ball, he moves like a basketball player. He shoots like it. He doesn't look like a football player trying to play basketball. He actually looks like a basketball player.
That's a massive compliment. I know Keon takes it that way, and I am just shit-talking the NBA players because that is how the conversation has gone. I barely played in the NFL and will never play in the NBA, so I have nowhere to be speaking. But I think Keon, either he or his people have reached out to. He wants to come break some. He wants to come shoot in the Thunder.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I immediately took that as, Keon Coleman's going to come break some record in here. And then we looked up his Michigan State stuff, and then we see this. It's like in a celebrity game, hanging 60. You're getting the ball a lot, and you're not.
Who?
60 points is a lot. That's
Those dunks too. That's not just like this guy can dunk. It's like he can really yeet.
All right.
Yeah, he was throwing that thing like for real.
I guess he had a quadruple double at one point in high school. Messed around, got a quadruple double, decided to be a professional wide receiver in the NFL instead. Not all men are created equal. Nope. Keon Coleman, obviously, special talent. All right, Q Rich. Tonight, how do you see it going?
I got OKC winning this game. I think the crowd's going to be crazy. Sorry to you boys for delivering that news. But I think OKC. Did you see what happened when they landed at 3:30 in the morning? Did you see how many fans were outside the airport waiting on them?
Yeah, I know the farmers got to be up early, dude. Cock-a-doodle-doo comes at a very early time.
That was AI.
Whatever the reason was, be that as it may, when they landed, it was thousands of fans at 3:30 in the morning. You think this arena is not going to be bonkers tonight? It is going to be. It's going to be deafening in there.
I did not see that, and I'm pretty glad I didn't.
Yeah.
How many did you say were there at 3:30 a.m. whenever they landed?
They allegedly, they said thousands upon thousands of fans were out there waiting on this is outside the airport. It's the way out somewhere where they land privately. They are there. Yeah. They all had to go slap fives with them. They had signs and everything. It was like that.
I was going to say, well, you can't get to where the Pacers landed, and it was way out there. Yeah. All right, well, Oklahoma City fans, let's keep it down tonight.
Yeah.
Let's keep it down tonight.
Respectful.
Respect. You're watching greatness. The MVP's playing out there.
Yeah.
Let's be quiet out there.
There it is.
Oh,
there it is right there. Do you see that?
It's like 25 people.
3:30 a.m.
Don't do that. That's not 25.
That's not thousands.
Trick. Classic camera trick.
Cat heads out there and the thing, everything. I don't know.
Are they still up or wake up, you think? 3:30. Still up, right?
Still up.
I would have stayed up. I'm just rolling off the energy at this point.
All right, respect. Can't wait to watch them tonight. Might be tired, though. That's an early wake-up.
That wasn't thousands. That was not thousands upon thousands of people.
You don't know
challenge that, BC. Challenge that.
From that camera angle, I would absolutely challenge.
Hey, Connor's like, yo, need that. Everybody in the arena every single time. This is the new. It's pretty awesome.
I love it, yeah.
It's pretty awesome. All right, Q Rich, we appreciate the hell out of you. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, 13-year NBA veteran, friend of the program, co-host of the Knuckleheads podcast, Quinton Richardson.
Yeah, Q Rich.
I don't got horse and race, but every game I'll pick OKC.
Shit like that does.
I just want good basketball.
Yeah.
It's real.
We got it.
That's all I want.
It's been an unbelievable series. I think they said it earlier this morning, 3 out of 4 games have been decided by, 10 or less points. That was the first time since 2015.
Obviously, you were in there, so it's a little different.
True.
Than like when I'm watching home where I, maybe scroll my phone for a couple minutes. I'm going to go to the bathroom, actually. Go to the bathroom. Well, I'm in the kitchen now. Might as well grab an ice cold Gatorade.
Well, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. Take this thing back. I go back. What happened? They went on a little bit of a run. All right, sweet.
I would change the channel. I'll check back in.
No, I wouldn't change NBA Finals. But I would sit back down and I'd watch, and then you finish it, and then that happens again. You're not really as invested.
No doubt.
Being there in that arena, shout out to SeatGeek, by the way. Shout out to SeatGeek. Being there in the arena, it's like these games have been magnetic. I mean, like
unbelievable.
It literally has been electrifying, and it has been some of the most fun that I've ever had had watching sports, legitimately.
Yeah.
I go back to high school, I guess, when we were watching Plum Mustangs high school basketball team. Those were a good time.
We had a good time.
We had a good group that was watching those games. And back in those days, you could really
say some things.
Yeah, and then there would potentially be altercations and things like that. But those were like really invested times being a fan. For the Colts, obviously sitting as close as we do, it's sweet. It is actually, but it is like a awesome thing. But I'm not as invested because the way the game is played, like it's far down the side and we got red zone going on because we've got to pay attention to everything else going on. Then we get in there, we get crazy. But for 4 quarters, these NBA Finals games, and I will even say the Eastern Conference Finals as well with the Knicks, it's just like you feel like you are a part of it. Mm-hmm. And this Oklahoma City team, like their fans, from what they say, tonight should be outrageous, I'm assuming, out there.
Yeah, it is magnetic. We were standing for the entire game, like cheering when they were on defense and everything like that. It is one of those situations where you do feel the importance of every possession, every game, and how big of a moment the NBA Finals is.
Thousands of people. OKC. Turn.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there.
A lot of people.
I'm worried about that kid hitting his head.
Yeah, well, the kid's up 3:30. That baby sleep schedule's going to be
screwed.
It's
Exactly.
worth it, though, they say, for the Thunder.
Thunder.
Thunder. Lightning and the thunder, thunder, thunder. Thunder. Lightning and the thunder, thunder, thunder. You think they were just playing those on repeat?
Yes.
Probably.
Without a doubt.
That baby. God, it is going to be electric over there.
Yeah, need this one here.
This is one where Tyrese needs to do the I got heavy pockets walk.
Yeah, he does.
This is one of those ones.
Big pockets.
All right, speaking of big pockets, let's talk about baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now with the massive news that is happening this evening, it would only be right to have the face of sport for an entire generation. Ladies and gentlemen, senior analyst, insider, and pundit for the MLB at ESPN, friend of the program, call him up, Jeff Passan.
Yeah.
What up, Jet?
Gentlemen, how are you?
Before we talk baseball, Oklahoma City Thunder, Pacers are playing tonight. Who's your pick and why?
Oh, this is not the audience to say it. I picked the Thunder before the season started to win the NBA championship. So
Thanks.
Yeah,
For the
sorry.
season.
My bad.
Before the season.
You're an NBA. Holy hell! Are you a super bettor here? You said before the season you like the Oklahoma City Thunder.
No. When Woj stepped away, they brought on Shefty, myself, and Pete Thamel, and they asked the three of us who we think is going to win the championship. And I've gotten to know Sam Presti a little bit as well. He's a really interesting and curious guy, and he wanted to know what inside of baseball could be applicable to basketball, for example. Anyone who's looking for his or her blind spots in their job and trying to get better, I have a ton of respect for. So Sam Presti, big baseball fan, but listen, I've so enjoyed these NBA Finals, not just because it's 2 small market teams that are thriving and that are playing like legitimate team basketball. Just the defense that's being played there, and the shot making and the creation, it's beautiful
and
basketball.
And
Sure.
and the push off. Yeah, I get it. No, I'm joking. Shay's been wonderful to watch. I agree with your sentiment, and I appreciate that you were being asked to be a basketball insider. Maybe, hey, why don't you guys start sending text messages in the basketball world? You can do the football, you can do the baseball. Just start texting them. Figure it out.
Passan's got handles. So don't make him kind of avoid talking about it. He tried out for AM1. He was almost a professor.
Connor knows. I crossed his ass one time, broke the ankles. It was not pretty, Connor.
Okay, I like that, Jet. Jet, we know with the way you are built, you're going to have great handles and going to have to be able to shake people for shot-making possibilities. We assume you'd be able to pull that off. All right, let's talk baseball. Speaking of pulling off, Shohei Ohtani will be pitching tonight. Here we go. Jet, This is what we're talking about. This is what the excitement was about from us, baseball outsiders, but we'll watch if something awesome is happening. Ty Schmidt, obviously a diehard baseball guy, but if I see some player doing something that hasn't been done since Babe Ruth, I'm going to be immediately interested, which I was when he was with the Angels. Gets the big money deal with the Dodgers, has Tommy John surgery, then he is no longer pitching, but now he's become one of the greatest at-bat guys in the league. Now he's pitching again. Everybody was kind of doubting that this would ever take place. How did we get here, and what are the realistic expectations for Shohei Ohtani tonight?
Pat, it's really simple. Shohei Ohtani went to the Dodgers and said, I'm ready. I want to pitch. And normally, when a player is coming off of major reconstructive elbow surgery, he goes down to the minor leagues and he'll have, 5, 6 rehab outings where he can build up his pitch count, start at 30, move to 45, 60, 75. By the end, you're at 90 and you're ready to go in a full big league start. Tonight, you're not going to see Shohei Ohtani for very long. He hasn't been built up now, and that's a progression that he's going to have to make while simultaneously being one of the best hitters in Major League Baseball. This is something that has never been done before outside of Ohtani doing it himself. Nobody's ever come back from elbow surgery and tried to play both ways at the same time. So, my expectations, they're that we're going to see great stuff, and we're probably going to see a little bit of control issues, just because, generally speaking, when guys come back from surgery, they're rusty. And it wouldn't shock me at all if there are a couple of walks mixed in here, but the strikeout stuff is going to be there, and I'm just excited, man. I'm just excited as a baseball fan and as someone who loves the game to know that a guy who is unlike anyone else in the history of the sport in terms of how good he is at both hitting and pitching at the same time, that we're going to get to see what could be the best version of Shohei Ohtani yet, because he is clearly a significantly better hitter now than he was when he was pitching last. If we're going to get that of him in the batter's box and see the old version of himself on the pitcher's mound, there is no more dominant athlete in all of professional sports if you get both of those versions of Ohtani.
Yeah, you become the quarterback and the Mike linebacker pretty much.
That's right.
Playing all season. I don't know how he would be able to accomplish it with how much wear and tear it would be on his body. That's kind of the conversation around baseball people, right? Like, why would we want to beat down one, especially with how great he's become with hitting? And I think Shohei Ohtani does, because I could do both. I know there hasn't been many in the past, but I am the one. Is he legitimately the only one, like, for the foreseeable future, or is this going to become something that becomes more normal if Shohei's able to have success with it?
When Ohtani came into the league and committed to hitting and pitching, I thought it was going to start a revolution of two-way players in baseball. We had seen it sparingly, a guy like Brooks Kieschnick, who was a relief pitcher and an outfielder, or somebody like Michael Lorenzen, who played some outfield and was both a starter and a relief pitcher. But I think what we've learned is it's so hard that teams just are not willing to take the time that it takes to actually execute this. Jack Caglione is a perfect example. He was a pitcher in college as well as a slugger, and when he got into the Royals organization, could they have put him out there as a pitcher? Sure, but they didn't want that to impede his development as a hitter. And so the ability for Ohtani to do both, I still don't get it. I really don't understand how he does it, how his body weathers it, how mentally he's able to separate the two and to bifurcate his training the way that he does. But look, yeah, that's a good one, right?
Make that up.
Bifurcate.
I've never even heard of that one.
Bifurcate.
Yeah.
Bifurcate is to cut something into two.
Bifurcate.
Bifurcate. You were close.
Ding. Damn.
Bifurcate.
Damn. But you're right. How he's able to bifurcate his time, his physical workouts, and everything else to be a master at something that the only 0.01% make it to the majors in both of those things is insane. If anybody could do it, Shohei could do it. All right. We'll be excited to watch that tonight against the Slam Diego Padres. How many innings?
1 or 2, probably.
So he's doing this because he doesn't really have a chance to go down in minors, I think you told us either last time or off air.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's not going to have a chance to go and build up the normal way, so they're going to do it within games, and it'll be very interesting to see how he handles that increased workload and what that does to him on the hitting side. Because I want to put a bow on this point because I think it's an important one to make. Every baseball player not named Shohei Ohtani devotes 100% of his effort toward a singular craft. If you are a hitter, then you work on hitting. If you are a pitcher, then you work on pitching. Your attention is trained completely on that one discipline. Ohtani has to do both. So there's no way to properly divide that attention and to know for sure that you're doing it the right way to maximize your abilities, and yet the guy has figured out how to do it and how to be one of the best in the game at both.
You say it might be a little bit wild and not like wild thing. You said maybe his control won't be there. We're going to see a lot of gas tonight, probably. A lot of gas.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of fastballs tonight. But let's not forget, dude throws a slider that can start on the inside corner and end up in the opposite batter's box. He throws a splitter that just falls off the table. He throws a curveball. He throws a
sinker.
He's got 7 pitches.
He's got the sweeper in there.
The splitter.
Yeah, he throws the knuckleball. Not a bad one for Shohei. Come in and throw the knuckleball, too.
Not a knuckleball guy.
Oh, okay. You don't like Wakefield? A little disrespectful to Tim. Rest in peace. Anyways, let's move on. Other story, definitely rest in peace. That game show where they were trying to teach somebody how to throw a reality show, how to throw a knuckle and see if they can become professional. I thought, man, I should sign up for it.
That'd be sick.
I think I have a strong enough arm. I can't really throw a baseball. This would be the only way I learn how to play baseball. Maybe I become a pro. Only a one season. Nonetheless, the guy didn't make it. Turns out it's hard to make it as a pitcher in the MLB. Shohei might be able to do both. There's other stuff happening in baseball. Ty Schmidt has a question for you.
Yeah, Jet, to the best of your ability, can you break down how the Rafael Devers trade going from the Red Sox to the Giants actually happened? I think people who watch baseball understand like a trade was possible with all the shit that's been going on between the two sides, but the timing makes absolutely no sense. The Red Sox just sweep the Yankees. They've won 5 in a row. Like after a bad start to the season, they're starting to kind of turn things around, and they trade who Clayton Kershaw said this guy is one of the 10 to 15 best hitters in the majors. How did this happen, and what would be like a comp to this trade?
Okay, so let's start with how it happened. This dates back to the end of the offseason when Alex Bregman is still a free agent. And Rafael Devers all winter long, the Red Sox had been in the mix with Nolan Arenado discussions and with signing Alex Bregman. And Rafael Devers was ensured, you're cool. Like, all of this is overblown. Turns out it wasn't. And so Bregman signs for 3 years and $120 million with the Red Sox and goes to spring training. And all of a sudden, the Red Sox are like, actually, Bregman is a Gold Glove caliber third baseman and you're not. So what do you think of DHing? And Rafael Devers is like, no, I don't want to DH. And I understand that. Based on the communication in the offseason and acknowledging just how much of somebody's their identity, their personality is based on the position that they've played their entire lives. It took him a little while to come to it, but finally he's like, all right, I'll DH. And he was told, you're not going to need a glove. Well, Tristan Casas, Red Sox first baseman, suffers a season-ending injury.
Tough.
And Craig Breslow, the chief baseball officer for the Red Sox, says to Devers, hey, we'd like you to move to first base. Devers is pissed at that point. Like, what do you guys want from me? And yet the Red Sox perspective is, what we want from you is for you to honor your 10-year, $313.5 million contract where you're going to play for us. It's not saying that you're going to play third base or DH. It says that you're going to play for us. So there's a lot of tension there. And yet around baseball, guys, a lot of people thought that Devers' contract was untradeable. It's $254.5 million through 2033. If the guy's going to be a first base or DH, those aren't the sorts of dollars you tend to see, even for a hitter as talented as Devers. And yet, earlier this week, there were conversations going on between the Giants and the Red Sox about potential other deals. Devers' name came up, and something came together very quickly. The timing of it was just horrendous for Red Sox fans. Just abominable. They're feeling good about themselves. Finally, Pat. Yeah. They sweep the Yankees.
We're back.
Yeah, exactly. Roman Anthony is up. Christian Campbell's up. Marcelo Meyer's up. The future is here. It's now. Everything's going to be built around the kids and Devers.
Not anymore. Devers in San Francisco.
No,
big move. This comes after the Marcy trade to the Florida Panthers from the Boston Bruins as well. We have
that move by him, by the way, on his second goal. Ridiculous.
5 seconds. Are these seams different this year than last year?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. That's Jeff Passan. We'll see you next hour. Cheers.
Belle Sessions, who got here at 3 a.m. this morning, was the winner. Her ticket was pulled, and you thought to yourself immediately, what, Belle?
I knew I couldn't do it, and he was next to me, and he said that he could, so we're splitting it.
Okay, so Belle Sessions made the decision to talk to my man, Henry Silver, who Henry got here yesterday at 6 p.m. He's been waiting for this moment. Now, Henry, you told her that you could make it. Why do you think that's the case? Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I've kicked a ball before. I've played soccer my whole life. I think I can do it.
This kick is for $150,000. You said you would split it in half, right? Okay, so let's make it $200,000. If you make it, you will both get $100,000. Where are you from, Henry?
I'm from Fishers, Indiana.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
The Colts.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Come on, bro. Hell yeah. To hell with the Falcons. That was rude. They didn't deserve that. I like that. Henry, 33 yards, $100,000 for you, $100,000 for her, $200,000 to hurricane relief, $400,000 on the line. Henry, are you ready?
Of course.
Have you ever said anything bad about kickers?
Of course.
Shut up. Let's go. Now, here in Athens, Georgia, it would be beautiful if $400,000 would be up for grabs. Why don't we double it because the Georgia Bulldogs. So, $800,000 kick right here, Henry. But what I want to let you know is you're not getting a second opportunity. I don't care if this entire place starts chanting for a second kick. One kick, 800,000 racks, 400,000 to hurricane relief, 400,000 to you two split, 200 grand each. Henry Silver from Indiana for Belle Sessions. Let's go, Henry! Oh, my... Henry! Henry! Come in, buddy! Come in!
Right down the middle.
Let me see this. Let me see this, Henry. That was amazing. I mean, he walked in like, Henry! Henry! Congratulations, Henry! Congratulations, Belle! Dude! Congratulations, Georgia! What a morning! College game day's the greatest! College football's amazing! Belle, you just won $200,000.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, June 16th, 2025. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Sports are happening all around us in the NHL, We have a 3-2 lead by the reigning Lord Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. We'll have Jackie Redmond, TNT ringside reporter, and also Monday Night Raw commentator join us in about 9 minutes or so to get her thoughts on the series and the game tomorrow night. Tonight, the NBA Finals continues as we have a 2-2 series between the number 1 overall seed Oklahoma City Thunder representing the West and the Indiana Pacers representing the East. Pacers had the lead late in the fourth. They gave it away in Game 3. Now the series tied 2-2. Who wins tonight? Will that decide who's going to win? The whole damn thing, potentially. Tyrese, Pascal, Tricky Ricky Carlisle and the boys travel to Oklahoma City in their loud house tonight at 8:30 on ABC. U.S. Open has a new champion in J.J. Spawn. Sports are great. Baseball's happening tonight. Shohei Ohtani is pitching again and hitting again. How you doing? Keep it moving. Babe Ruth is back for baseball. Now, I don't know if he has the same activities off the field as Babe Ruth had, but Shohei Ohtani is a great face of baseball, and tonight he picks up a job that he did a few years back before having to have Tommy John surgery. We hope he obviously slices and dices the San Diego Padres. No offense to the Slam Diego faithful, but we would like to see Shohei have a good outing and then get a couple more innings the next time, and then a couple more innings the next time. Right. And then all of a sudden we got a full game from Shohei Ohtani, who's also hitting 2 dingers. Right. Baseball is great whenever that's taking place. That was just a few years back with the Los Angeles Angels. Now he's on the Los Angeles Dodgers. New color, different side of the city. Same old Shohei tonight for baseball. We just talked to Jeff Passan on the way out. He told us these seams are different. Andrew McCutchen, obviously the Pittsburgh Pirate legend, saying, I asked the Baseball League about this. They said, yeah, the balls stink. Deal with it. We'll get to it next year. Yep. Basically. Sorry. Aaron Judge is able to hit it a long way.
Exactly.
Shohei's been able to hit some big-time bombs. But I guess because every single baseball is hand-stitched, there's a chance that these seams are a little bit bigger, causing a little bit more drag. So maybe what would have been a home run is actually a deep fly ball out. Because there was a couple over the weekend where I thought guy was taking a yard. Yeah. The place erupted as if it was yard. Right field, looking out from base. Home plate. Right field this way. Yep. So you're always looking out from home. Left field, center, right field.
Correct.
Right fielder just casually just snags that thing. How you doing? Keep it moving. That's a home run. Placer's losing it. Yeah, he did. No.
Yeah, no. Warning track power.
Yeah. That's $750 million guaranteed. That's also new balls, allegedly. So baseball's happening. Hockey's happening. Basketball's happening. The NFL's always happening. Let's talk about that first. The talk table's here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Conman loves what the Patriots have done this offseason.
Oh, yeah. Every single part of it, and especially when you hear players saying, yeah, it's nice to have a coach that you know you can go into the back alley with and he'll be ready to throw down with you. Yeah, it's pretty good being a Patriots fan.
Well, you bet $10, you get $100 in bonus bets.
Wow. Really?
Shout out to ESPN Bet. One half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys AP Tone is here. Tone, Pittsburgh Steelers, everything's hunky-dory over there in Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers as quarterback, I'm hearing.
Yeah, everything's super hunky-dory. Aaron's showing up, doing everything. He's sitting down playing cards with all the boys. Mark Caboli told that story in an incredible fashion earlier today.
I mean, with Rodgers, too, you hear so many horror stories, right?
All right.
I mean, I spend most of my time in the locker room just being a creep. And when I say that, I'm not talking about,
No, you're sitting there hiding in the corner watching what everybody's doing.
No, I'm just like looking around, just trying to scan trying to get the feel for everything. You see Aaron Rodgers comes over. They're playing huge games of cards right there, and he pulls up a chair right next to Cam Hayward, Miles Killebrew. I don't know if he played or not, but he's jumping in there. He's trying not to offend Will Howard, by saying, hey, why don't you try this? And Will's like, he goes, I hope I didn't overstep my bounds. I was like, whoa, it's Aaron Rodgers. What are you talking about? So everything seems to be working now.
Listen, the Dan Hake team's got to figure it out for you. And First and Goal Collectibles. And that first company is obviously on board over there in Pittsburgh. And Chris Mack was trying to correct Caboli. You're not like a cuck creeper in porn. You're looking around. He said, I'm trying to get a feel for how things are, which is good journalism, which is why we appreciate Mark Caboli. But what he's saying is, from what I'm seeing, this guy's trying to get acclimated with the team, assimilate with the team, and trying to be the best teammate he could possibly be. That's not what we were told. Joining us now is former teammate of Aaron Rodgers, obviously a man who's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, father of 10, happy Father's Day to this guy. Happy Father's Day to this guy. Happy Father's Day. 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 AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
10 of them.
It's pretty good. That's good. I mean, for Phil Rivers, that's actually it's pretty accurate, I feel like, isn't it, right now?
Yeah, we don't know where Phil is currently at. Obviously, that number is always growing as the Rivers family continues to evolve. Happy Father's Day to Philip Rivers and Antonio Cromartie, AJ Hawk, and all the other noted fathers of professional sports. Let's chit-chat a little bit about Aaron Rodgers being a good teammate. Mark Bowley said, wow, I was kind of mind-blown by it. That's basically what he said. Have you got a chance to chit-chat with Aaron since his time with the Pittsburgh Steelers? And how do you think this ends up working out? Seems very positive from the Pittsburgh Yinzer standpoint.
Yeah, it does seem very positive. I have not spoken to him since he's been to minicamp and everything with the Steelers. But going back to Kaboli, I would wonder, my first question when I see Aaron in person, I'm going to ask him if he has had any interaction with Kaboli and if he feels like Kaboli has been a creep over in the corner, because Kaboli never really clarified what he said about being a creep, and he never said, I'm not a creep.
Yeah, Chris Mack was trying to help him out there. You're not,
You're not meat gazing in there, are you, Kaboli? Well, I don't know.
You're observing.
Kabul was in the middle of doing some journalism there. Dan Haig team will take care of you. But like that is, I think what Kabul was saying, usually I'm just observing, would have been a better word than maybe being a creep or whatever. But he said he sits down with Cam Hayward, plays cards. Obviously, he was at Cam Hayward's golf outing. Cam Hayward is the stalwart of that team, the old OG in that locker room. You saw that in Hard Knocks when they were both mic'd up. And Tomlin literally goes up to Cam Hayward and says, hey, get your D-line in order over there before halftime. And they go back there. Cam Hayward also said, you're a Steeler, you're not, bro. Okay? I'm about tired of this whole waiting around thing. That obviously got taken in 1,000 different ways. Now we're watching Aaron and the Pittsburgh Steelers become one. And AP Tone, I know you've been bopping wood over there playing defense against yourself on getting too excited. But where are you at right now?
It's cool because not often do you find the quarterback of today, and then that quarterback of today, which is a four-time MVP, Super Bowl champion. He owes the Steelers a Super Bowl championship, so he's going to get 7 for the team. But he's also leading the future for your national champion, sixth round rookie quarterback in Will Howard.
Oh yeah, 6th rounder.
Yeah, which I think the NFL, they make a lot of mistakes. This could be another one of those. This could be a big Tom Brady situation, probably. But no, everything's going great. Especially like mentioning Will Howard. Like everyone said, he's been really, really awesome so far. We all know he's a good kid. We've watched him be a great leader. So things are very, very hunky-dory right now.
Happy to hear that. Did you hear about Cincinnati? Things are hunky-dory over there as well. Allegedly, Trey Hendrickson and the Cincinnati Bengals have continued negotiations, was a report this weekend from Jeremy Fowler. Sources, Bengals and All-Pro DN Trey Hendrickson have resumed contract talks. Doesn't say they're going well. They're just saying that they are currently speaking. I think if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan, you got to be pumped up about this. And then at what point do you handle the Shamar Stewart situation, which is also still lingering? Do we assume they get it all sorted before training camp, AJ?
I mean, it was surprising for me to hear that they actually are communicating between Trey Hendrickson and his representatives, because I think I said on here last week, I don't know how they find a way to get this deal done with all that has happened and everything and what Trey actually deserves to be paid. I don't know if they can find a way to get him that number, if they're willing to get him that number, but anytime you're talking is good. Whether they're close or not, it's still good that they're actually communicating.
Yeah, I think that's how you break down barriers. You got to speak to each other.
Sure. Right.
Even if the barriers were very public and insulting, like sometimes these players need to just take what they're offered. Well, what if he's the sack king? Don't care. Lucky to have a job.
Should be happy.
And then on the other side, listen, either pay me or trade me, in this entire thing. There's fighting words from both sides, okay? But if you talk to each other, maybe you're able to put those fighting words down and pick up your, hey, let's be a team time. What if they're able to work it out? Well, what if they're talking and they're not able to work it out and they decide they need to trade them? Then do they think, wow, we could have done this a long time ago. Maybe got some draft capital for this entire operation. I don't know. We shall see. Good luck to the Bengals and their fans.
Good luck.
Good luck to the Bengals and their fans. We're pulling for you over there. Obviously, the market is big. TJ Watt still an outstanding item for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Whoa.
Obviously, the market right now is at $40 million. Myles Garrett got paid this particular offseason, as did Danielle Hunter. Max Crosby got his money. Nick Bosa last year got his money. That's kind of where everybody stands right now. Trey Hendrickson down there as the sack king. He's the one right next to A.J. Hawk's big face. Mm-hmm. That's Trey Hendrickson. The one right next to my dumbass is the highest paid guy. And you see where Trey Hendrickson is trying to get to, probably somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere in the middle. TJ Watt, he's trying to become a neighbor of mine.
Yeah,
if I had to guess.
Yep. No doubt.
If I had to guess. So I think these are pretty easy deals to figure out. We shall see if the teams will accomplish it. Speaking of easy, getting in shape is not that.
No.
Getting in shape is very difficult, especially as you get older. Mm-hmm. As you get older. When we were back at the Combine, I did a little bit of journalism when I said this. I decided to reach out to Source
Says
who know and say, like, hey, are we playing next year? To my source says, and message was my dog! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! 3. Source says I'm coming back for sure. Going to try and get to the best shape I've been this offseason and get back to the mountaintop. Got a real bad taste in my mouth with how I played in that last game and how I got the guys ready for battle. I can't go out like that. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, and guess what? One more exclamation point.
Wow.
Huge. 4 exclamation points. He said, I can't go out like that. I'm going to get in the best shape that I've been in. And Jeremy Fowler is now reporting that the Chiefs will see a slimmer Travis Kelce at minicamp next week. And we all know he's also taller.
Yeah.
As we saw him walking with Taylor at the Florida Panthers Edmonton Oilers game. AJ, what are your thoughts on Travis Kelce having an offseason down there in Florida with Taylor Swift and coming back better than ever? I think they continue to inspire each other. I think they continue to motivate each other. I think they continue to be great for each other. And if Travis Kelce is all the way back, I think you immediately understand that the Chiefs are going to be exactly where the Chiefs have been, and that's in title conversations, AJ.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I feel like Travis Kelce, obviously, old school guy. I think this is the only good thing that comes from losing it. It can absolutely reignite a fire. It can do something to spark something that you want to get back to where you were. When you've won multiple Super Bowls, what do you want to do? You want to continue to win multiple. You want to win every single year. I think they're getting hungrier and hungrier. But yeah, as you get older, you definitely have to figure out what works best for your body. I'm sure Travis is doing that, but I expect nothing but greatness from him this year.
How about how tall? Maybe he's not thinner. He's just he had a growth spurt.
Grow 2 inches at age 34.
Yeah,
that happened.
I don't know. You tell me. Did you see him walking down that hallway? Did you see?
Oh, I believe it. I'm all for you. I definitely think he has grown. I think it's wild.
You never know what those billionaires know.
True.
He might have hit a growth spurt at 34.
Yeah. Andre the Giant kept growing.
I've seen politicians grow. Sometimes they're taller than they were a couple of days before. I've seen that.
I think we all saw that. But then we were told the camera was put in a different spot. It's like, well, let's put the camera back there and see if it happens again. Then the whole this pause.
Yeah.
I gotta. Yeah, and I mean,
she's probably 6 foot in those heels she's wearing.
Probably 6. She's probably 6'2". She's very tall to begin with, and then she's wearing. Keep playing. Pause. I mean, those are 3, 4 inches. I don't know. Joining us now might be somebody that knows. She was there. Ladies and gentlemen, ringside reporter for TNT for the last 3 years, has been covering sports since 2011 when she won a contest to become a next sportscaster up there in the beautiful country of Canada. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE Raw commentator, Jackie Redmond.
Yay! You guys did your research bringing me on here. I can't believe you mentioned Gillette drafted. That feels like it was 20 years ago.
Okay, so is that 2011? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, correct. You were spot on. Your stats department is on their A game today. You got it.
My stats department is Canadian that we have on staff. Bubba Gampino. Bubba Gampino says she actually won a contest in 2011 to be the next sportscaster. It was a little bit of a runaway.
I prefer prefer the word competition over contest. I had to really compete hard. I think it was more of a competition than a contest.
Now, to be clear, Gumpy said you annihilated all of the competition in the contest. Ain't that right, Gumpy?
Yeah, the Raging Redhead said she was unbelievable.
Okay, so we...
Cam Stewart. Shout out Cam Stewart.
And Gabe Morency, obviously.
Love Gabe. Love Gabe.
Yeah. Shout out Canada as a whole. Obviously, hockey is fantastic. Now, there's been some things. Not going to get into it. Now is not the time. We needed to win that Four Nations. USA needed to win that Four Nations. Worse than anybody. Yeah, Jackie, I know.
The double-double.
Listen, we'll see you at the Olympics, bud. It's on.
I saw the team you guys have put together. I do not love that.
They put out the USA one, too.
I do not love. Okay, anyways, let's talk about the game. Travis and Taylor were at the game. Obviously, Edmonton and Florida down there. They are, I believe, currently in Florida as a whole. Did Travis Kelce look taller than ever? And how happy and thin and fit did he look? Because that is the big news around Kansas City with that particular Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he looked in shape. I'm not going to lie, I was really paying more attention to what Taylor Swift was wearing. She looked fantastic. But yeah, he looked good. I didn't see him like up close and personal, but I did get all of the information from Wayne Gretzky, who spent some time with them watching the game. So he said Travis looks great. Looks like he's in great shape and he's ready to go. Listening to you guys talk about Casey and Travis too, you could have been talking about the Florida Panthers the way you guys were talking about how, he's hungrier than ever. That team losing is hungrier than ever. I think you could say the same for the Florida Panthers. Like, they lost 2 years ago and they decided, all right, we just lost in the Stanley Cup final. Now we're just going to go off and be a dynasty. No big deal. Okay. I feel like there's parallels there.
Okay, I love to hear that. Obviously, a dynasty. I think they would be the 8th team in NHL history to go back-to-back. The Pittsburgh Penguins have done it a couple of times.
Wow.
No big deal. But let's talk about this Florida Panthers team. They trick off that 3-0 lead, obviously, and then they tie. The series gets tied up. Then they can show up in Edmonton, and Marshy is just absolutely filthy. And the boys win 5-2, even though it's like a 4-1 game as a whole. What are your thoughts going into tomorrow night's game? And does this feel like the Florida Panthers are the far superior team yet again?
Yeah, I think it does. When the series started, the first couple games, as we know, were insane. One of the craziest Stanley Cup final I've ever covered, for sure. And at that time, I was like, you know what? These are pretty evenly matched teams. But now, as the series has gone on, I think Florida has separated themselves from Edmonton. I'm not going to count the Oilers out. They've got McDavid and Draisaitl, two of the best players in the world. So I think if they can force a game 7, we saw them come back from 3-0 in the final last year, 3-0 last year. So they can do it. But I do think that Florida has established themselves as the more dominant team. They're better in goal. They're better on the back end. They're deeper as a whole. They've won before, so they have the confidence that comes with that. And nobody has more fun than the Florida Panthers. I can say that with confidence. The aura with this team is off the charts. They allow a game-tying goal with 17 seconds left earlier in the series, and they're joking around and busting each other's balls between periods, getting ready for overtime. That is what this team is. They are completely unfazed. They don't get rattled. And Brad Marchand just fits seamlessly into that equation. He's been electric in this final. He's my pick right now for Conn Smythe.
Okay.
I know Sam Bennett has had an unbelievable postseason, but I'd give it to 63. I think 7 of his 10 goals have given Florida the lead. So if you're looking for stats to back up sort of clutchness, I think Marchand checks all the boxes. But yeah, I do think Florida's the better team. I think they've led for 85% of the series. They've had the lead, something like that. It's a ridiculous number. I tweeted it if you want so the Twitter warriors don't come after me.
No, we'll find it. And the Twitter warriors are always going to be out there, even whenever they're lying.
Oh, they're relentless. They will not stop with Taylor Swift. I can't escape it.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing? The Taylor supporters on there are good. They've been good to us, at least. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been good to us.
I'm getting 50% incredible Taylor Swift fans. So happy, so excited. And then I've got, some meatheads that are I had to turn off the game because you showed.
Oh, they were in football too. They'll come around. Yeah, that's an easy thing.
I hope so.
Yeah, the time leading in Stanley Cup final via Jackie _Redmond. Panthers 200 minutes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
To 33 minutes? Okay.
Killing it.
It feels like they've been having. Yeah.
Paints a picture, doesn't it?
Yes, it certainly does. Okay, so let's talk about the other end down there for the Oilers. Seemingly big question is, do we go back to Stu Skinner or do we keep Pickard in the net? Anytime that decision is made, obviously it's massive. We in Pittsburgh had an opportunity to watch Murray, Jari, everybody kind of transition during the playoffs and have great success. Pickard comes in, first start, post filling in for Stu Skin, loses 5-2. Now, granted, it was probably 4-1. The goals were filthy. Feels like the Florida Panthers are sniping. Everything is off the post and in. Does it matter who's the goalie? And what do you think that the Edmonton Oilers do in net?
I think they go back to Stuart Skinner, and I think he's a gamer. I think he'll be ready. He's proven that before, but I don't think it matters. I don't think it comes down to that. It's never come down to that coming into this final. The Edmonton Oilers were never winning the goaltending battle. That was never going to be an edge for them. You got Sergei Bobrovsky at the other end. That's a Hall of Fame goalie. That was never going to be a strength for the Edmonton Oilers. So I don't think it matters who they start. They start Pickard, they start Skinner. It's not going to come down to that. It's going to come down to the Oilers figuring out their power play because it's supposed to be a lethal weapon. You're supposed to be afraid of taking penalties against the Oilers. And I don't think it's been that. I think for the most part, it's been mid. And then,
Bush League, bro, mid. Yeah, Bush, yeah. Got it, yeah.
I think the Florida Panthers are just so deep, and I just so far the Edmonton Oilers haven't been able to figure out a way to sort of compete with that. I mean, it is like shift after shift after shift. The Panthers are relentless. There's no weakness. There's no holes. Yeah. Like, where do you take advantage? Where do you find a spot to sort of get the Panthers on their heels? And they're missing, one of their best players in Hyman, which I think has been a big part of it too. Like, Corey Perry is great. 40-year-old Corey Perry. We love Corey Perry, former London Knight. That's where I grew up. He's awesome. And him having the performance he's having is great. But, we need him to be having that performance on the third line, not in the top six. That's the difference, right? Like, Brad Marchand is the old guy doing it for the Panthers. He's doing it on their third line.
Yeah. Playing against third liners too, which is certainly better life for Brad Marchand than what he was doing with the Boston Bruins. Whenever you consider, just the entire trade, Marchand to the Florida Panthers, Jackie, how did the people, because I know Ringside Reporter, obviously you're talking to everybody, you talk about the aura and the shit talk from the Florida Panthers, and they're doing that more than everybody. It feels like you do know the communities and cultures around the NHL very well. A lot of hard work to get there. She's been covering hockey since when, Gumpy? Since when?
2011.
Well, she's Canadian.
Forever. My bad.
My whole life.
Did everybody think the Marshy trade was outrageous?
I think people thought it was shocking. I think for the most part, it was shocking that the Bruins would trade a player like Brad Marchand to a team within their division. Like, I'm sitting over here as someone who was born and raised as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. I don't want to
Yikes.
Okay, and I'm like, what? Like, we have a chance to get this guy out of our division, and you trade him to the Panthers? Oh, it was devastating. I hated it. But now, of course, I'm like, all right, Brad, go win your cup with Florida, and then come over and play for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that, Jackie. Thank you. AJ has a question for you, Jackie. No, it's not Maple Leafs. No way. You, Bobby.
Ask him. He grew up a Leafs fan. He's coming to TO.
No, you and Bobby Roode got some pipe dreams back there in Toronto. Go ahead, AJ.
Jackie, you mentioned this Panthers team. Like, I mean, if they were to finish this one off, could we call this team like a dynasty team and one of those teams like we look at maybe like the New England Patriots had done a few different times? Like, and also, is there any slowing this team down? Like, what makes them not do this again next year and continue to win?
Connor was so disgusted with you, just by the way.
Yeah, easy. What is that?
Hey, they're both dynasties.
Okay.
Listen. Oh, I see. I was like, wait, who's disgusted with who? Did I say something?
No. Patriots.
No, it's a great question, and I think absolutely, even if the Panthers lose, for me, I'm not going to say they're a dynasty, but I'm going to say that they're one of the best teams we've seen in the last 25 years, hands down, without a question. If they win, I think they definitely deserve to be called a modern-day dynasty because they do have a lot of the important pieces in place for next season to go and do this all again. I mean, they've got Sergei Bobrovsky, who, like I already said, is a Hall of Fame goalie. When you have that, and then when you've got some of your key pieces up front and on the back end locked up, I mean, I'm not counting them out. I think we could see them go on a deep run again next year. And honestly, like Sam Bennett could be back. Like that is a realistic possibility, depending if he is willing to maybe make a little bit less, but stay in Florida, stay with the boys. I think, he deserves every penny from whoever's willing to pay him if that's what he wants. But you have to remember that Sam Bennett is a guy that came into a league as a good pick, a good prospect, but like had to deal with the fact that he went to the combine and could only do one pull-up, and people were making fun of this guy nonstop. He's in Calgary. He's buried in the lineup. He's not getting an opportunity. And so I think when you start your career that way, as somebody who, took him some time to really get to find his home, if you will. He's found it in Florida. He's had success. He could potentially be a 2-time Cup winner after this, maybe a Conn Smythe at home as well. I don't know. I don't necessarily think the Panthers would have to work that hard to convince Sam Bennett to return to a place where like they genuinely love each other. These guys, we hear it all the time. I know in sports, like brotherhood, blah, 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 but they truly are maybe the tightest knit group that I've ever been around in my career in professional sports, in terms of genuinely just being like absolute friends, hanging out all the time. I mean, I don't know. I think they could convince Sam Bennett to stay for if he's willing to give up a little bit of the moolah,
And we haven't even talked about the no state income tax down there in Florida yet. That's a little bit.
Did you just throw out in a boot?
No.
You sounded Canadian there a little, Pat. I'm not going to lie. You kind of said like a boot.
This conversation has turned into a little bit of a runaway, hasn't it? A little bit of a runaway. Let's talk about an actual Canadian there. Jeez. Let's talk about greatness. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Jackie, last year, the narrative kind of started getting going like, hey, if Connor McDavid doesn't win this year, then we got to start having the legacy talk. We know he's the best player in the NHL, bar none, but he hasn't won. And I believe he's only got one goal in the finals so far this year. If the Panthers do go on and win tomorrow night, do you think it's going to get loud that McDavid's just kind of not a winner? He's a great player, but he doesn't have what it takes to win a cup.
You know what? We saw Alex Ovechkin go through this in his career, right? Amazing, incredible player, now the greatest goal scorer of all time. It took him a long time to win. He didn't win until 2018. And people said that about Alex Ovechkin. And I think there was some legitimacy to that. Some, not a lot, but a little. They just couldn't get past the Penguins all those years. But I think for Connor McDavid, I don't think that becomes the conversation, because I think people are very aware that for the most part, I'm not really referring to the last couple of years necessarily, I don't think he's really had the right team around him. And in hockey, this isn't a one-guy sport. Like, you need 3 lines deep at least.
Need a lot of lads.
You need a lot of lads.
Yeah.
You do. And so I don't think the conversation will be, is he a winner? Because last year he put this team on his back and they forced Game 7 after trailing 3-0, and he was putting up 1,000,000 points every game. I think the conversation becomes, is he going to leave? Like, is he going to leave Edmonton when his contract is up
Boston.
in a year's time, right?
Vegas, baby.
And so
he's coming to Pittsburgh, Jackie? Is that what you're hearing? He's coming to Pittsburgh?
Oh, my God. Listen, Brian Boucher keeps saying he's coming to Philly. He's coming to Philly. But you can't listen to Boucher.
Never going to Philly. Nobody's going to Philadelphia except for, what's that wretched-looking, gritty...
Oh, is it
Gritty?
Gritty? Yeah.
Gritty, the mascot, Gritty.
Gritty.
Yeah, he's stuck.
It's kind of Gritty's fault that nobody wants to go over there.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. I think he's...
Shots fired.
Gritty, too much moxie on Gritty. Wasn't he loud? Gritty was everywhere.
Very loud.
He bombed that kid.
Shit out of that kid. Yeah.
No, I don't know if
He's
he's
throwing hands in the crowd.
Well, the kid threw hands at him. It was Philadelphia. Gritty understands you could have to get Gritty.
He kicked the shit out of that kid.
But I think McDavid did say, I'm not going there because of Gritty. I don't know if he did that.
I'm pretty sure he did. Look, I have some family in Philly. I know that there's some very questionable spirits around Gritty.
Well, I would say that Philadelphia understands that if your mascot's name is Gritty, he's probably going to be a little gritty, especially in Philadelphia. But I guess there it is. McDavid doesn't want to go because of that.
Bingo.
Yeah. He's worn out his welcome.
He has worn out his welcome.
Yeah.
Hasn't he?
Simple as that.
He's worn it completely out. Yeah. Now, something that has never happened in Philadelphia during my lifetime and probably my dad's lifetime and my father's lifetime, is a Stanley Cup celebration in Philadelphia. Let's talk about the two that could happen here. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Jackie, try not to be biased here when I ask you this question because you did say the Panthers are so tight and they're a very, very fun bunch. So what would be the better celebration? It's the Florida Panthers boys and they're heading to Elbow Room and they're pouring beers out of the cup from the second story, or a Canadian team and the Oilers winning their first cup since 1837.
Oh, yeah, 92. I remember that.
I mean, Canada will go insane if the Oilers, this year especially and last year, Canada is united, I would say, for the most part, behind the Oilers. They want to bring the cup back to Canada, even though we can get into rosters and how many Canadians are actually playing for what team and all of that nonsense.
No, thank you. We're talking teams here, Jackie.
But, I'm tired. I am tired of all my American colleagues and coworkers and people just rubbing in my face the fact that a Canadian team hasn't won the cup in basically my whole life. Maybe not my whole life, but close enough. I'm so young. But I would like to see the Oilers win just so that I don't have to hear it anymore. But I think the celebration would be big. It wouldn't be as big as if the Toronto Maple Leafs won the cup, but it would be big. It would be big.
Keep dreaming.
Yeah, Toronto's going to win. Toronto's going to win. They're going to do it sometime.
Yes, one day.
I like the outside shots of the Canadian teams, though, to be clear. Like Pittsburgh used to host a watch-along outside. There was people. There would be thousands of people. I think Boston did as well. Hockey does it more so than any other sport. Saw the Fever do it, actually, and the Pacers are doing it as well in the court that we were live from. Always looks good. The Canadian ones are always bananas. It's like the whole town came out and is literally enjoying the night. It's a beautiful thing. I couldn't even imagine what a parade would be like up there in Edmonton. Legit.
Oh, it would be crazy. Like I kid, but honestly, Oilers fans are so passionate. It's one of the loudest buildings I've been in the regular season, let alone during the Stanley Cup final. It is insane in there. It's insane in the moss pit outside, which is lovingly named after a former dressing room attendant, I should say, that unfortunately passed away. But it's named after him. He's beloved in Edmonton, worked there, I think 30 years, something. I mean, he was there when Gretzky was playing. So that tells you how long Joey Moss was there. So I think his energy reverberates. He's a huge wrestling fan too, by the way. So I think there's some aura there with that too. But yeah, it's an awesome place to watch a hockey game, and to see them win would be wild. They would need a lot of police, I think.
Mounties. They don't want to
under control.
Jackie, where are you from? Jackie, where are you from? And act like this is a map of Canada here. Obviously, United States is here. Florida's down here. Washington's over here. You get it. Canada has 13 of them things up there. Where are you from?
So I'm from Nova Scotia, which is all the way up east, like across from Maine, and then through the province of New Brunswick is Nova Scotia.
Way over here.
Way over there. Also the home of Brad Marchand, Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby. No big deal.
Oh, pretty good. So you're from up here? No,
a little
over here.
Yeah.
Can't see. It's very bright. I can't totally see, but
here's Maine.
Yeah,
Maine's here.
East. Yeah, so if you go across, you'll see New Brunswick. You got names on that map.
NB right
there.
And
then Nova Scotia right here.
NB and then Nova Scotia, correct.
Nova Scotia's right down here. There we go. So Lunenburg?
Okay, so I don't live in Lunenburg, but Lunenburg is a very nice place.
Okay.
Big tourist attraction. They have a lot of colored buildings there. It looks like a crayon box.
This seems like somewhere we should get. Isn't it pretty close to Maine?
Yeah, Maine, we would love that over there.
Isn't it Sidney Crosby? Exactly what I've been saying.
Yeah.
Where's Sidney Crosby from in this place, Jackie? Is it down here?
Halifax.
He's Cole Harbor, Nova Scotia, which is it's around Halifax.
Can we zoom out, please? Can we zoom out a little bit? So it's like right there, right? That's below.
It is.
Yeah.
He's technically ours.
Nova Scotia should be part of New England.
I did not know Sidney Crosby is an American. Holy shit. That is awesome.
He's part of the lower 48.
We would like to contest. Contest the roster for Canada. I did not know that was us.
Unfortunately, once you're capped, it's over. You can't switch.
Okay.
It's over.
Oh Oh my God, you guys are ridiculous. I did not expect that. I just popped so
So
hard
where's
for that.
Edmonton at? Edmonton's way over yonder, right?
Way up there.
Yeah, you want mid Canada.
Oh, right next to Saskatoon.
Yeah, close to Saskatoon.
You got it.
Edmonton's over here.
Got it.
Think about this finals.
Oh,
You know?
far flight.
I mean, you got the Pacers and Oklahoma City playing against each other in the NBA finals, and then the NHL is like, yep, you got an 8-hour up to Edmonton, and then when you get there, craziest fans in the league. And then when you get down to Florida, it's like, don't get distracted by that beach and the golf.
That's right.
Don't be enjoying Fort Lauderdale too much down there in Sunrise.
Oh, we've been enjoying it.
Talk about the players, Jackie. What's been going on down there? You guys been doing the Elbow Room down there? That's the place? The Elbow Room?
The Elbow Room is the place. I am a professional. I've not been there yet.
Okay.
I'll go if the series ends in Florida. I'll hit up the Elbow Room after that. But I haven't been there yet. But I've been to the beach. I've been to the pool. It's been a good time. I'm a little sunburnt, but it's good.
Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you. Great coverage of the NHL by your entire TNT team. Enjoy the rest of the way. Thank you for making time.
Hey, Pat, and all of you guys are the best. I'm a huge fan for many reasons, but one near the very top of the list is you guys make time for hockey when you don't have to. It means so much to the sport. I really appreciate it. And I think a lot of hockey fans do. So thank you for giving hockey attention. We love you for it. I'll clap.
Thank you. Very nice of you.
I appreciate it.
We love
And
talking
I'll leave on
about.
this.
We love talking about hockey.
Love talking about hockey.
We love our hockey. We love our hockey. I'll do the American accent. But before I go, I'm just going to drop one nugget. I have a good source claiming that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce will be in the house for Game 6. So get excited.
Jackie Redmond on the news, breaking. Taylor Swift, Travis
not
Kelce.
confirmed, but according to a good source.
Hey, who do they don't need a Miami Dolphins player on that drum. I think they're completely defeated.
0-7 when the Dolphins beat the drum.
So maybe get Travis.
Would Kelce do it? Would he do it?
I mean, they would have to lift that thing up 6 feet in the air with how tall that son of a bitch has become. I mean, he is so tall out there. But I think anytime she's in a building, positive vibes. Seems like that's kind of the case. They lose that last one, though.
Yeah, exactly. Last year, Luongo banged the drum
For the
game
win.
7, I believe, for them to win. So maybe you kind of run
Massive
that
mitts,
back.
remember?
Oh, yeah.
Massive mitts. He hit me in the shoulder at a WWE event.
Oh, yeah. Hey, move.
I have no idea if this guy's going to fight me or not. Great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jackie Redmond. Thank you, Jackie.
Jackie. Yeah, that one was on me. I remember very specifically burying Roberto Luongo last year. So if you took any flack for that, hand up. My bad.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about this show. Because my name's on it, so I guess that is certainly a part of it, and I'm lucky for that, obviously. But yeah, anything gets said on here by anybody that's on here.
Yeah.
Normally, it makes its way to the person. Hey, you hear what Pat McAfee said?
McAfee and his cronies. You hear what they said?
Are you going to take Are you going to ask for context as well, or are you just going to hear it completely out of context? I don't need context. I heard what I heard. It's like, I think with us, you need context a little bit.
It helps. It definitely helps.
I think
It does help. It helps.
You need a little bit of context. Story written about me. It's like, don't you think there should be some context to this?
Just a bit.
Don't we think we are a show of context? That is something that is a necessity. I think.
Is that what journalism's about?
I think so.
I think right.
Speaking of, we have a request in. I don't know if Travis Kelce is going to be able to make it today.
Yeah, why? Because he's in cons.
He's in cons.
It's a long flight.
Okay.
Kelce.
Is it Florida to Cannes, south of France?
Sweet shirt.
Is that closer? Very fashionable. Travis always looks good. Except for sometimes. There's some of the outfits that don't. But he knows that too. Most of the time looks incredibly fly. Somebody actually said that they were checking into a hotel and in front of them were the Kelce brothers, and they're the size of buildings over there at Cannes Film Festival. A lot of actors and musicians over there. I couldn't imagine Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce walking around, especially with this new height that this guy has.
Yeah.
New heights, if you will.
There you go.
He has gone to a different level. But how, Florida to Cannes or Florida to Edmonton? What's longer flight?
So to Cannes, it says it's 11 hours and 35 minutes.
That is longer.
Yes.
Then
Are we sure?
to Edmonton.
That's what it says.
sure?
That's what the Google
Are we sure
says.
it's longer?
What does Fort Lauderdale to Edmonton say?
Let me see.
Right,
FLL
9.
to Edmonton.
Well, you know with the world's curvature.
Yep.
Okay, so southern states trying to get to Europe, they have to battle the curvature of the earth. Okay, there's going to be people really mad that I said that. So there's going to be people that are really mad that I said that. But that is something that they calculate for. Unless they're just flying in circles up there to waste time, that is something that they have. Because if you're from the northern part of America, normally you're going up a little bit, a little shot clock, so we can use a smaller Earth. You know, like a arch of a shot over there. So maybe that's why going to Edmonton.
A little over 8 hours.
Okay, so it's both halls.
Yeah, and is that 8 hours including the 2 you get back? So is it 10?
No,
I'm always confused by this.
This is strictly flight time.
It's got to be flight time.
And then flying back, you would think there'd be a little bit of a jet stream west to east in the United States of America. A little bit. You'd probably catch some over the plains.
Yeah.
You know, coming down through the Midwest. You'd probably catch
Yep.
a little bit of a booster seat there. You know,
No doubt.
Go get going. That's always a nice piece of information to have. Hey, we got 500 knots up there behind us. Tonight's going to be 45 minutes shorter than the flight out here.
Yeah, flying west sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Gumpy, how long was that flight to San Diego we took?
Oh,
maybe 11 hours.
Yeah, we went backwards.
It felt like we were just
a nightmare,
just hovering above America forever. I mean, that was scheduled to be 4:45, I think 5. Might have been 7.
Well, we also went back 3 hours and still didn't help at all.
Yeah, we missed the meeting completely.
It's phenomenal.
The only ones that weren't at the meeting. What happened? Well, I think we were stuck over goddamn Rockies.
Yeah.
I think you tell me where the wind was. We were sitting in it up there just like a kite, just flying around America. It was insane. A lot of big news happening around the sports world. Caitlin Clark is back. Caitlin, it was great to see you back on court.
Great to see you back.
How about her saying the entire time she was out with an injury? She didn't say this. The world witnessed this. Nobody talks about WNBA, okay? More people should have. It's a great sport. I agree. Caitlin Clark's not playing. Nobody, okay? Nobody. Caitlin Clark comes back. Everybody.
Yep.
Everybody. You know why? Because as she was away healing the hammy, I think she got better at shooting somehow. She was best shooter in league. Now somehow she gets better at shooting. They had the distances that she pulled up on Beastu, and Beastu laughed at her, and even a coach in the background for the Liberty laughed and clapped about what was happening. She was clearing out entire halves of the court one-on-one throughout the entire game. She's pulling up from the logo. Obviously, she's somebody that has a logo on a court in Iowa because that's where she just pulled up from. She's shooting NBA threes, Steph Curry range threes on a very regular basis. First game back, has 9 points, I think, in 12 seconds. 3 straight threes from that logo right there. The WNBA Commissioner's Cup, which we're probably going to win. No big deal. Shout to the Fever. Caitlin Clark is back. The WNBA, I assume, is going to ride the high of the ratings and push the rest of this season through. And what a time here in Indianapolis. They host watch parties outside of the arena for regular season games for the Fever when Caitlin is playing. People fill up not only the arena, people travel into Indianapolis, buy like a $5 ticket that gets donated just so they can watch Caitlin outside on a basketball court that is near the arena. Whenever LeBron James says the CC effect, we feel it here in Indianapolis, maybe more so than anywhere, but the league feels it as a whole, and it's only becoming more and more obvious, and I'm pumped up about that. Because when you have a superstar like this, you have to treat it as such. Like, hey, this is, and I think it's becoming way too obvious. And we're lucky as hell for it out here in Indiana, AJ.
That little stretch she had with the threes and just these gigantic, like the shots that she takes and that she makes look like routine. It blows my mind right there. Like, are you serious? Like, what are we doing?
Give me that. Also, New York just scored. Tyrese Halliburton, quick inbound. She's running. She's not scared to run. Her Iowa teams ran.
Yep.
I mean, they ran teams out of the gym. She would have those full court passes at Iowa that made me believe, like, oh, when she gets a WNBA, and no offense to the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball team, but obviously there are some better basketball players that are taller maybe and a little bit more athletic that were at other schools that are going to be in the WNBA. No offense to the Hawkeyes. So I just couldn't even imagine the passes that she was going to be able to do. Caitlin will pull this thing from one foul shot line to the other, full court passes. She is the style of play is what you are kind of hypnotized by. And she seems to have an unflappable confidence, and she's back, and there's no rust, Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, she's a complete player, too. I think she had 9 rebounds and 8 assists. So, like, a lot of people, or people that don't like her, I think, just say that she just chucks shots up from deep. But it was also cool post-game seeing Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart, like, they were genuinely happy for her. Like, yeah, this league is better when she's playing. So it was awesome that in her first game back, she did what she did. And I think we are kind of getting to the point where I don't know, jealousy is a weird thing to say, but like people realize how important she is to the league.
I think there was you're going to have to prove it to me.
Yeah.
I did a little off-season research on this. I'm like, hey, how come they won't just say it? How come they won't just say, like, she's the one? And the conversation goes to, there's been a lot of these. Supposed to be the one, supposed to be the one, supposed to be the one. So I think the OGs, if you will, the old guard of the WNBA was like, you're going to have to show me. You're going to have to show me. And then now with everything that has kind of happened, remember, she was getting full court press last year. Remember, there's a shot of the girl. She was in between shooting 2 at the free throw line, and she was so worried about a rookie, Caitlin Clark, that she shoots her first free throw. They're like, lady, you got to shoot another one. Sorry. You wait. You know what's coming. And he was like, yeah, she took everybody's best shots, keeps going. I think this Fever team have a chance to go to run. And then, you know what that means.
Thinking about a parade.
Two parades.
9 points.
Not again.
What?
Not again.
What are you talking about?
It was really fun after game 3, being like, hold on. We're all believers now. It's 2-1. Don't look now. And then during that fourth quarter, I think we all saw what happened. Everyone on the Pacers bench is looking around like, it's sunshine and rainbows around here. This is going to be fun when we start having a parade. And then, 31-17, OKC in the fourth. They blow a lead. All of a sudden, it's 2-2. We're going back to Oklahoma City.
You're saying less parade thinking.
That cool parade thought turned into, oh, my God, my off season's 2 months shorter now.
You said the parade thinking was like Kool-Aid drinking. Everybody was a little bit too misguided on what the reality of the situation was. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. I need more players thinking about, actually scoring baskets than thinking about, parades in solitaire. Okay, I need to be thinking of 3-point shots going in the hoop from Aaron East.
Solitaire is a good game. You can move that pretty quick. Great. And you can double tap at the end. My brother actually used to play solitaire on our house computer, which was in the kitchen. Kids don't understand this. This is what it was back in the day. House computer was in the kitchen. Kitchen was obviously located connected to the living room. Living room connected to a small closet, then my bedroom. Okay, so my brother was 2 rooms away, but basically 1 short hallway away. He was playing solitaire at night. He's a tappy bastard. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
He's tapping. He must have a world speed record on solitaire. I mean, I could hear that mouse clicking as he was dragging those games fly. I think Jason McAfee would get through a solitaire hand faster than anybody on earth whenever he was about 17, maybe 18 years old, because I heard every click in my bedroom as I was trying to fall asleep. And whenever I didn't even know you could play it on your phone.
No idea.
I didn't even think about that. I got GTA on my phone. I'm playing GTA on my phone, running around, driving cars and stuff. Maybe some other stuff happening.
Sure. Yeah, there's a chance.
You think?
What do you mean?
You think Jay could finish this whole solitaire game in a 30-second timeout too?
I think he could. I think Jason McAfee could. That's what I'm saying. I don't think everybody. I think a lot of this generation maybe had no idea that game still exists. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Play a lot of cards. But the fact that he's still committed to the game, I respect it. Yeah. And you don't think he's doing research? He's definitely doing research.
Yeah.
Has to.
Who, Jay?
No, not Jay. We're talking about Stephen J. Smith. I appreciated Stephen A. I called him out. He didn't, there was no anger. He's like, yeah, this is how it is.
Yeah.
Guy dressed as Dumb and Dumber with Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Just roll with the punches.
Those two.
I respect that. I like that. These are good things, not bad things, as they roll. Those two paid at least $250,000 for those tickets.
So much money for those tickets. They did that.
So much.
Hats off to them.
So much money. That had to be $250,000.
Well, they just found a Samsonite briefcase with a bunch of money in it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. They could swimming, Samsonite. That's it. The thought of them then, okay, we got $250,000 in tickets. What do we do now? We got to make a statement. That's a good statement. What's a good statement? They had so many other ideas. I believe there was probably a Three Stooges type reference.
Sure. Yep.
There was only 2 of us. It was 500,000. 3 tickets. Well, you could do 2. And as soon as they thought of Dumb and Dumber, they're like, brilliant. I'll be Stephen A. You're Perkins. Yeah. And then they sit front row and they look magnificent. I mean, this was genius. And Perkins, Stephen A., to their credit, kept rolling.
Yeah.
Kept rolling with the punches. I enjoy that. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who might know a little bit more about that particular story, on who those 2 dudes were, but certainly about everything else happening around the NBA. Senior insider for the NBA on ESPN, ladies and gentlemen, Shams Charania.
Yeah, Shams.
Whoa, Shams, you look so cool right now. Jeez Louise.
You know what? I was actually trying to get on the court for you guys. Before my Sports Center hit, but I'm not going to be able to right now. But we're in this quiet room. I feel like I'm in a trapped somewhere.
Yeah, Sports Center at
Right
2 o'clock. We appreciate you joining us here to wrap up hour 2. Let's get right into it. Anything we need to know about tonight's game that we should be thinking about that you're hearing while boots on the ground in Oklahoma City?
I feel like what we saw in game 4. I mean, the bench, with the Thunder, the way that they played. I mean, to me, it just comes down. Can the Pacers bench have the same type of effort, the same type of production we saw in game 3? How will that balance itself out? But listen, when you have Chet Holmgren, J-Dub, and Shea play at the level that they played at, I mean, it's really going to come down to the big threes and the benches. So very interested to see how tonight's game goes.
Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Shams, with SGA, we see that, like, whatever you do to try to stop this guy, when the time matters, this guy finds a way to take over. I love watching these crazy mid-range shots. He can do everything, I feel like, with the body control he has. What can these Pacers do, and what do you expect, I guess, from Shea moving forward in these next couple games?
AJ, I mean, at the end of the day, you just have to hope that he just struggles from the field. I mean, we've seen a couple off games from him in the playoffs, but there haven't been many, maybe 2, 3 at most over the course of this run to the finals. He's so cerebral. His game is so compact. He's got the mid-range shot. He's shooting the 3. He obviously can get to the foul line, like fans want to give him a hard time for. I find his game aesthetically pleasing. I find his game to be one of the, like you think about guys like Kobe. I mean, in terms of the mid-range shot, KD's, been revolutionary for the mid-range jumper as well. So I look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as a complete offensive player, and on most nights, even on nights when he's struggling to start the game, like, he's able to be a complete player, complete closer for that Thunder team.
Yeah, I looked up at the stats, and he had 18 points, and I'm like, he hasn't. Feel like we had him contained. Yeah. And I look up, and he's already scored 18 points, and I'm like, this guy's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then he takes 16 steps and nobody calls anything. And then you just think to yourself, wow, he's able to do whatever he wants.
Was that an offensive foul, though? Was that an offensive foul?
Are you talking about when he punched him in the head like Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let me punch Neesmith in the mouth. Let me gather myself.
That's a 50-50 call, but that was pretty egregious, right?
Well, and then he gathered himself and couldn't gather himself, so he had to continue to gather himself, and then he gathered himself again. I mean, there's 4 gathers.
Right.
I think that's a lot of gathers. I mean, I don't know how many, and he's running directly away from the hoop. So, it's
the foul.
It's not
That's
legal.
a nice shot, though. That's a nice shot. Nah, I don't think that's a travel, though.
No.
Okay.
That doesn't look,
all right, I agree. But whatever you want to call it, this dude is unstoppable. I felt this way against Jalen. It's fun to watch these types of guys. Now, people get pissed off about them going to the foul line. There were 71 foul shots in that game. We can't have that. That's not what we're here for. That's not what we're here for. Can't have it. Okay? Just as somebody that is not a full-time basketball person that, tries to understand your game as best as I possibly can, just know from our world, the NFL's world, nobody wants to watch the refs take over a game. Okay?
Correct.
Nobody. So let's have a good basketball game tonight and let the boys play.
Swallow the whistle.
Let TJ McConnell come in here with a European uppercut if he wants to.
Right on.
If he wants to do it all, let the boys play out there, because I think Dags and I think Carlisle are going to have them ready to go tonight. Because the Oklahoma State.
We've seen that, though, for most of the playoffs. We've seen the refs allow physicality.
Yes.
We've seen refs allow things to happen. So in that case, that was physical play. Now the biggest thing is having it called the same way on the opposite end of the floor when Tyrese has similar plays.
Yes.
Or, OB or some of the other guys. So it's just consistency is the one thing I hear from coaches and players. If you're going to call it one minute on that side of the court, call it the same one on the other.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult, obviously, to officiate. So good luck to all parties there. Let's move along. We only have a few minutes. You only have a few minutes. A lot of things to talk about. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Shams, the Desmond Bane trade, is that kind of like the first thing to really start the tidal wave of all these different trades? You mentioned last week on the show, hey, the Durant trade could happen at any time. And now if you look at NBA Central, they have so many tweets about, oh, this player is getting shopped, this player is, potentially getting traded. Are we about to see a bunch of trades in the next few days to few weeks here?
We're definitely going to get a bunch of trades. I don't know exactly when, but listen, I think from Kevin Durant was the biggest domino that we've been talking about, the biggest available domino, and that's still out there. That could be really any day at this point now. Could be sometime this week. We'll see. The biggest thing is, will they play that closer to the NBA draft on June 25th, or will there be a deal that hits their threshold and they're able to get a deal done before that point? But I mean, the Bane deal is something not many people in the league expected, but you think about it from Memphis's perspective, it allowed them to get all these draft assets. I mean, it's a major haul that they're able to get, and now they can use those picks to continue to build. From my understanding, the Grizzlies are signaling privately that they want to continue to build around Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant, that is their plan, that's their intention, and this is a move for them to pivot away from that core three that we've seen with Bane, Morant, and Jackson, and kind of have more youth and have more flexibility. They have to pay Jaren Jackson Jr. this offseason, and that allows them to do so. And everything they've done is to build around Ja Morant. By firing Taylor Jenkins, having Tuomas Isalo be the new head coach, that was for Ja Morant, from my understanding. That's to allow the Grizzlies offense to have more free-flowing style. And now I think what we're going to see is 2 through 4. They're going to try to be very defensive-oriented, defensive-minded there. Like Jalen Wells, that's a guy who might not be a household name quite yet. He was one of the guys for Rookie of the Year runner-ups, and he's someone that they have high hopes for. Like, that's a guy that I believe the Grizzlies feel is their starting two-guard of the future. And so if you have those aspirations, you need to make sure that you're good from a financial component, because you talk about the second apron, you talk about the first apron, and having Desmond Bane on a max contract, along with Jaren Jackson's big deal, along with Ja Morant's max contract, it makes team building very difficult.
We'll have you on in the future to talk about the apron talk, because that feels like that's a big deal whenever it comes to trades and who you're paying and how you're paying them.
Just to clear it up, though, like everyone wants to make a big deal about like draft picks, right, versus trade. Now, I saw you talking earlier with Q Rich, right? Like last year we saw Mikal Bridges go for, 5 first-round picks. And the Nets got Bojan Bogdanovic. Bojan Bogdanovic was not a player for the Nets this season. Like, he was a non-factor. So they got those 5 first-round picks. In this case, you give up Desmond Bane, you get 4 first-round picks and a swap. And at that point, you get 2 players that you feel like can help you now a little bit. But they're doing the deal because of the haul of the draft picks. You think about Luka Doncic, that Anthony Davis trade. If you put Anthony Davis on the open market right now, he's fetching you 4 or 5 first-round picks right now. So I think it's about, do you want to trade for the player or do you want to trade for the picks? And obviously, in Dallas' perspective, they want to trade for the player. So each trade is different. The Phoenix trade is going to be totally different as well.
Okay, you nailed it. You actually sent us out right on perfect time. And I know you got to get to Sports Center, which is in 3 minutes or so. What you're saying is the Anthony Davis-Luka trade, people are obviously commenting because what Bane just went for. But Dallas right now could get 5 picks for AD. So Luka actually went for 5 first-rounders or 6 first-rounders if you were to do the math, including AD on top of that. So I respect it, but the way you guys just toss around draft picks is wild.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's wild.
I mean,
it's wild to us.
And
like
this
Giannis,
trade,
what is
you
he,
get the
100
number
first-rounders?
Yeah.
Is Giannis worth 100 first-rounders?
For the rest of the time.
There are teams out there that would give between 4 and 6 first-round picks easy for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Man, you guys are crazy over there.
They just don't care about it?
Yeah, legit.
They don't care about their first round, or they don't really value the first round picks unless you're top 3 or what?
If you're giving up those amounts of first round picks, you're probably not also going to give like a ton of young players and things like that, right? So it's like it's all a balance based on just value and what you see fit.
So you like your young players, so we're not going to need to add any new young players. So we'll give up 4 or 5 years worth of young players to raise our young players and get a megastar in here with our guys. So they will basically supplement your draft class. Got it. All right. We appreciate the hell out of you, Shams. Good luck on Sports
I'm being
Center.
told I got to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shams Charania.
Shams.
That's crazy.
Makes no sense.
I guess if you feel like you can get a franchise guy, you're willing to give up 5 years worth of picks.
Well, also, if you like your young guys.
Yeah.
Which I think is what he said there. Like, we have, because there's only so many players, I guess, on the roster, and the amount of money they're allowed to pay. I guess the apron conversation shows up. But we talk about the 8th player on the bench getting paid, 9th player on the bench getting paid. It's like that might be a young guy that they've kind of kept in there. So instead of replacing him with a new draft pick each year like we do in the NFL, we replace the bottom 25 spots on every team with young guys because they're cheaper. It sounds like some NBA teams like, we actually like the bottom half of our roster. Let's just let them grow. And then, we'll sacrifice that 2051 first rounder too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't want to.
That's what's so weird sometimes. It's like the Celtics at times have had players in the G League be, first team G League, whatever the hell it is, first team All NBA, but
All G.
All G. There you go. But they
Great
never
name, actually.
they never end up actually making it with the Celtics. So that's why, how do you even know when you like your young core? Because if they perform well in the G League, you don't even know if they're going to turn out to something.
I just assume, I didn't even think about the G League. I guess that's probably where I should be thinking first, but it's like, I'm talking about the end of the bench.
Yeah. No, I know.
That's what I'm like Bronny almost came to my mind. Because they had like a full plan this year for Bronny to get reps down in the G League, and then he's going to get experience as an NBA player. So you can watch your dad work every day, which I guess is, from the sounds of it, his work ethic is fucking
phenomenal.
Isn't that kind of a weird thing? That every person that is, you know?
Yeah, and by weird you mean makes complete sense, and there's no people don't just fall into being a superstar. You don't just wake up and become a superstar. You have to absolutely, all the best of them absolutely work for it.
Yeah, I think any bucket of life that you choose to get into, any bucket, you can name it. Now, granted, there are head starts. God bless you. The Pope gave a great sermon about sports.
They did.
So we'll say the sports bucket is certainly one of them, but any bucket of life, and some people certainly have head starts, certainly, no doubt about it. That's just a fact of life. You need to understand that. The networks that are created from some families are going to give them a head start in a lot of businesses, especially in businesses where you need to have good network to have success. So there's certainly going to be head starts.
Yep.
But once you get past the mindset of like, oh, it's not fair, and you go like, all right, they have a head start, but let's see if we can fucking catch them. It's like work ethic is the only thing. Like work ethic is the only common factor in every single bucket for massive success. Like it really is. And that's
consistent success too, don't you? I think to be consistent year after year after year. Like there's some people that pop up for a year or two, yeah. But if they're not going to do what it takes and continue to do what it takes to stay at that level or continue to get better, that's where you see people fall off. That's why it's so impressive what guys like LeBron have been able to do.
20 years, still the first one in, last one out, loudest one in there. I guess every practice he's full go, every rep. It's like, then they tell stories about the Mamba mentality, obviously, and Michael Jordan, what he's doing. And then you go into football, and it's like, I watched Peyton Manning, and that guy was a fucking robot. That was unbelievable. Running sprints during the punt period, which is supposed to be like down period for offense, defense, because special teams is on the full field. In this massive dome, is just helmet on, full pads, helmet on, sprinting back and forth, running gassers in the middle of practice. And it's like him and the quarterbacks are the only ones doing it. Nobody else is doing it. And it's like, out of all the people, obviously, no wasted second, it's this guy. And then the film, the story about, having a movie theater basically attached to his bedroom because, hey, 2 a.m. might pop up. I got a question.
Think of something.
Clyde Christensen, quarterback coach for the Colts. Yeah, you better answer a fucking call too, 2 a.m. I need an answer because there's some film going on. It's like then there's stories of Tom Brady. And then obviously you think about Bill Belichick. And then you can go through any sport, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the same story. Wayne, you talk about it in hockey. I literally asked him, hey, did you ever look back and wonder why you were better than everybody? And it's like an uncomfortable question. But I wanted to get to like, hey, why do you think it worked for you? Maybe it didn't work. And he was like, practice, work. Everything's just like work. And it's very rarely something that's spotlighted for kids. I'm watching all these kids shows, trying to teach them everything. It's like, hey, when can we get some work? Hey, you're going to have to fucking work now. Like, this is how the world operates. It's a crazy thing to like kind of realize, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing that a bunch with Scotty Scheffler lately. He's done with his round, and then he's back. He's out on on either the practice green or the driving range. No one else is around him. Sometimes he's leading the tournament, and he's staying there until the sun goes down. And like, I don't know if anyone else saw it. Like, there was a new Rolex commercial that was incredible that was about him and just kind of like his career path, and like same deal. He wasn't like the most sought after amateur. He kind of just like he's just grinded and like put the work in, and now they're talking about like he's arguably the best golfer since Tiger.
Yeah, let's talk about Tiger. Think about what Tiger's work ethic was. They talked about his
work ethic was off the chart so much he hurt himself.
Yeah, ruined his back. How'd you hurt your back? I don't know. I'm up at 5 a.m. every single morning working on my wedges. Then I do 3,000 putts. Then I get the driver out. Then I play 26 holes. Then I have a workout. Then I massage. Then I putt again. Then I chip again. He was like doing that since he was like this big.
Training with the SEALs.
Yeah. For mentally getting after it. Yeah. And then Serena Williams and Venus Williams, we watched that movie about it. It's like, You got to work, man.
That's why I like the people now. Like Scheffler's, I feel like he's in that bucket. Like Carlos Alcaraz, like for how young he is. Scooty's the same too because he's still in his 20s. But for how young Carlos Alcaraz is, and for the guys that he's going up against, like Scotty, I guess, did he ever get to play against Tiger? But even then, Tiger was, it was after his accident and everything. Like Carlos Alcaraz is going up against these dudes who are in their late 30s, which is an advantage for him, but still cool that you get to see like the two generational talent.
It's why we got to appreciate what we're watching,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So much fucking work is going into that. Like Caitlin Clark doesn't just, enter this world and have the ability to pull up from the parking lot. It's like the amount of to have that confidence too. The amount of
SGA, I get like the foul stuff and him pushing off. Anytime he drives to the right and pulls up like right at the foul line, it's automatic. It feels as though that type of basketball hasn't been around from a guard in a while, just because it's so many 3-pointers. But when he drives to the hole and when he pulls up, it is magical. And he wasn't the top pick; he got traded there, which is even cooler.
Yeah, sports are awesome. Shout out to Mr. Pope. Did you see AJ?
He's awesome. Yeah, it was beautiful. You opened up the show with it. That was awesome.
I felt obligated to. Like, hey, you know why we do this? Because we love sports. Somebody broached the subject to me that some people who cover sports don't love sports.
Really? Whoa.
I didn't even think of that. I was like, why would these? I said,
why would you do it?
It'd be a miserable existence if you didn't.
But I guess that exists. I did not know that.
I didn't think about it.
I feel like if I taught like a math class, that'd be like how I would feel.
Yeah, in general, any teaching.
There's a lot of teachers that hate kids, though.
Yeah.
Do they grow to hate kids? But they had to love them when they first got in, right?
That might be the same thing.
I don't know. I think I had a couple teachers. It was their first year, and they fucking hated my guts immediately upon me in that classroom.
Those journalists might have grown to hate their sport because of how much it's changed.
A little jaded in it all. Yeah. Shout out to the Pope, though. Hey, sports Pope is a good thing.
Love you, Pope.
Absolutely.
And talking about us over me, I mean, that goes to work ethic and like everything.
Teaches us how to lose. I love it. He says it teaches us how to lose. That is absolute. That has to happen.
A little adversity comes into your life. How are you going to handle it? Well, there's another game coming. So you're going to have to get over this at some point because we got to.
That's going to wake me up in the morning. The fact that I did lose.
Yeah, and also when you're tired, you're going to have to fucking.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't feel my.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what? So none of us do. We got to.
Just the fact that we have a current pope who's wearing a fucking fitted White Sox hat with his robes. Like, I thought that was photoshopped, awesome. And it's like, nope, that's real. This is fucking awesome.
Hey, Mr. Pope, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Leo.
I've been told I am allowed to call him Mr. Pope because I knew there was a ranking system. Like whenever I put the Mr. Amen, Mr. Pope, Amen thing out, a lot of people I seen, you should be calling him Father. He was Father a long time ago.
Yeah.
He's no longer.
It's beneath him.
Yeah. His last stage he was at was Cardinal, and then he became Mr. Pope. But you can also call Mr. Pope also,
His Excellency,
Holiness.
Yeah, the holiest of holies, His Holiness.
Was there an essence or something? What was the?
The internet is saying if you were to address him in person, it would be Your Holiness or Holy Father.
Holy Father.
As long as you're not saying something like negative or like disparaging, you can have whatever relationship with the Pope you want. That's kind of why Catholicism's awesome.
So he's kind of the tribal chief of the Catholics?
Correct.
He's got the Ulafala?
Yes, he does. In this case, a fitted White Sox cap is the ceremonial Ulafala.
Okay. What are the chains? Are the chains all the same?
Just swag.
Moxie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little sauce on the Pope.
Exactly.
A little sauce on the sports Pope.
Mm-hmm.
I like what he's doing. I like what he's preaching.
Yeah.
Anytime you're preaching sports as like a part of being good for society, I'm about it. Because there's people that don't like sports. What do they do? We'll never know. All right. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
We will never know.
No.
Exactly.
We will never know. Big game tonight.
True.
AJ, Oklahoma City hosts the Indiana Pacers. The Thunder, 9.5-point favorites at home in front of what's going to be allowed.
The fuck?
Are you
was
okay?
that?
You've been bopping the shit out of your mic today.
Coughing.
Yeah, this whole thing is messed up. I'm sorry about that. I'm working through
it feels like you're doing a lot of this right now.
Years ago, now you remember a couple years ago, I had a thing completely fell, and I just held the mic on for the whole show. I'm working through something like that right now. But we're good. I got it. We'll figure it out.
Something's going on with your rig?
The Hawks.
Sorry.
The Hawks thrive under adversity.
That's right.
We do.
Yeah.
We try to.
Earlier, you didn't mute your mic, and I heard you just bopping that thing over there.
Oh, I'm trying. No,
not the coughing, not even the coughing. You were just bopping the shit out of it. Yeah, and then we kind of cough a little bit later. Feels like you've been kind of going through it over there. We appreciate you battling through some adversity. With that being said, the Pacers are going to have to battle through some adversity over there in Oklahoma City. Their fans showed up at 3:30 a.m. to greet the team as they flew back to Oklahoma to host Game 5 of the NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV. Nailed that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
AJ, who do you like? How do you like it?
Man, so honestly, I still feel good about the Pacers winning this one. The Pacers were in control last game, but this one, they're going to have to weather the storm early. We know that place is going to be on fire, no question. Let's find a way to quiet the crowd down late in the game when it matters. Late in the third, just hang around. Third, take the lead. Midway through the fourth, take this thing home. Pacers win.
Okay, Pacers money line, me too.
Boom.
Plus 9.5 is real nice, though.
Yeah.
But that is not advice or a pick. I'm just telling you what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Shout out to my daughter painting this dinosaur. Roar.
Nice.
Roar. Hope you had a great Father's Day. AJ, we wished you happy Father's Day earlier.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day to you guys as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, look at Jesus.
That's
Damn.
Jesus dancing next to the dinosaur. And there's a DoorDash bottle that will certainly order more. Now, the DoorDash relationship has become a little bit too much, I've realized.
What do you mean?
I ordered a smoothie earlier.
Sure.
Oh.
And I looked at the price. I don't know, man.
I hear you.
I'm spending a lot on there.
But you didn't even think twice, and you just did it.
No, I fucking double tap that thing, scan my face.
Yeah, exactly. If I can get here quicker, let's add the extra $5.
Yeah, Express for sure. $2.99, of course. Of course, if I can need it. Is it still going to be cold? Probably not. Fucking A. $3 for that? Of course. Convenience fee? Go ahead and bang.
It is lunacy how much we're paying for DoorDash.
I mean, it's fucking great business. That is why.
Yeah.
Got us by the balls.
Paying for convenience. You're paying for them to bring it to you. Yeah.
Don't look at the price if you're doing it.
Right. No.
Can't do it. And then the tip part, some of the places are like percentage, some of them are actual dollars. So I always want to do more than whatever is offered. So I go $1 more than whatever's offered. Okay? Whatever the highest one is. Every once in a while I'll drop into a percentage though. And then I don't know what the actual number is. And I type in what the number is and I go, holy shit, I'm paying how much for what here?
Oh yeah.
Holy fuck, man.
And when they're working for other apps too and they're doing 4 other deliveries, that's the worst thing of all time.
Yeah, we can't be getting hustled. I'm paying $2.99.
Yeah,
so that fucker ain't seeing the time.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't need to be hustled. We've caught a few out here.
Oh, yeah.
We let them know, though, AJ. I don't know how you talk to your DoorDash delivery people. We let them know that we know. We know the game you're playing. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. Got 4 people in that car. How come you all got phones out and how come you all got orders?
Yeah, what's going on?
Huh.
I don't like it.
I've never confronted him, never talked to him. Really.
We just tell them, we just do a we know.
Mm-hmm.
We do a we know. We know. And also, you spilled the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, thanks.
I appreciate your service. I tipped you big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would you like to rate? No. I just fucking would like my next thing to come at a wild price. It is a great app, though.
Yeah, it is.
I've had to go pick it up at neighbors' houses. I've had to go, I see they dropped it off like a neighbor's house two neighborhoods over, and I got to go sneak onto somebody's porch and grab it without them knowing.
Yeah, you're looking for the picture to try to match.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The front door?
That happens.
They have gotten lazier. I will say that.
What's that?
I mean, they're supposed to drop. It's called DoorDash. You're supposed to drop it off at the fucking door. When we order here and you go outside and these people just sit in their cars and wait for it, it's like, that's not how this works. It's raining. Get your ass out of the car and bring it over to the door.
They think you're dashing to their door.
Bingo.
Wrong dash.
It's not car DoorDash, okay? It's DoorDash.
My door.
Yeah.
And $3.99.
Yeah, exactly.
We know. Great app, though.
Yeah, great. Unbelievable.
Changed everything.
Amazon, obviously, game changer.
Yeah.
People who like to shop, who I might live with one, will, and I'm not talking about the 2-year-old.
Sure.
Will love the convenience of being able to get anything at any time. And what you're also signing up for is more cardboard boxes.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah.
I worked at a pizza shop whenever I was younger, Dallas House Pizza. One of the things was making the boxes, because it was just flat, and then breaking down the boxes. I'm doing that with fucking Amazon boxes, just fucking breaking these things down because they're just eating up the whole garbage can.
Yep.
Got 4 items in the garbage can before that thing's fucking flopped open. What is it? Well, it's 3 Amazon deliveries. What the fuck did we get? Oh, weighted jump rope. I fucking needed it.
Sweet.
I fucking needed it.
You got to start burning them. You got to burn the boxes.
Control burn.
It takes time, though. It takes time.
I like that idea.
I don't mind a nice fire.
Yeah, good fire.
Love a
I
nice
wish
fire.
Amazon would offer a service to come pick up the boxes from you. Like you pay a
They
monthly
should.
fee,
$3.99.
put your boxes out like the garbage man.
Box.
They come and pick them up,
Box stash.
haul them off, and get rid of them.
I'll say the new garbage men at the new neighborhood, pretty inconsistent group.
Really?
Okay.
I never knew that.
Like showing up or?
Yeah.
Really?
The time in which they arrive
Drives you nuts.
is not the same. That's a wild thing.
You should be able to set your watch to that.
That's what I always thought.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
hey,
how my guys are, thankfully.
I thought that's how the thing was.
Should be.
I'll tell you what, one time, we got a 6:30 arrival, a.m. One
You had the
time,
night before.
one time we got a 6:30 p.m. arrival.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of it. I'm trying to figure out the cadence. I would like to talk to him, like, hey, what is the kind of the deal? What's going on?
Best time here.
He said, when you guys are traveling around in the neighborhood, like, how do I know when I need to be out here? Because the 5:45 scramble
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't love that.
is not the
You
best.
hear them 3 houses down. You start sprinting out and getting all your stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, they're early. They're early. Life, so good. Yesterday was so awesome. Took a walk with Mackenzie. She's at a good stage of just like moving, talking. What's that? A lot of that's. What's that? What's that? And then I explain it. What's that? Whew. Trying to explain things is very fascinating as well. How many kids do you actually have?
4.
How old?
Oh, boy. 14, 12, 9, and 8 now.
Okay,
It's
so
crazy how old they are.
14 to 8 is the.
Yep.
Okay. You feel so you're learning new things with the 14-year-old. 8, you already know everything that's coming.
No, he's a wild card, the youngest. But yeah, you deal with 5,000 questions a day. It's good. It keeps your brain active. It keeps you you got to be creative. Like I have to think of okay, how am I going to explain this to them?
Shout out to Jerry Seinfeld. Watch that B movie 4,000 times this weekend. Learned a lot about honey. They love honey over there.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez Louise, they love honey. Have you seen the B movie?
I don't know. I've never seen it actually.
Great. It's
pretty
great.
good.
Mackenzie loves flowers, so when she that's the flowers, I got all the information from
nice.
the B movie. That's a very informative movie, that B movie.
That's Jerry to a T.
The Pollen Jocks are a real fucking badass group of bees. They are a badass group. They put those helmets on. I'm watching all these types of movies. Obviously, no adults are watching them. Actually, I heard there's adults doing kids things all by themselves, and it's weird for sure. But yeah, like going to Disney World as an adult, so I guess that's happening. People just love the rides, I guess.
Yeah. Space Mountain, keep you coming back.
The whole Avatar ride is
Yep.
unbelievable. But I'm experiencing all these movies for the first time with her, like Lion King and all these like legendary movies that I did not watch as a kid. These are good movies.
Good movies.
Oh yeah, they're great.
I mean, it makes sense why they've withstood the test of time.
Can't wait for you to really get into the Pixar's.
Which ones are those?
Toy Story.
Soul.
I saw Toy Story. Everybody saw Toy Story. That was back whenever we went to movie theaters.
Yeah. No, the newer ones. I mean, like Coco.
were Tommy
Have you seen
Boy.
Coco?
I've not seen Coco. I've seen.
Coco, Soul.
Coco's good.
Coco's
Coco's
good.
good.
Have you seen Zootopia?
No, I've not seen Zootopia.
Good.
Yeah, there's a few.
good.
There's a few bangers.
Animation's seemingly always bangers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wild Robot. Have you seen that one?
Didn't love the Wild Robot.
Me neither. Yeah.
Wild Robot actually was, in recent memory, the biggest flop in my mind. Animation-wise, because everyone said it was this great movie, and it's a good movie, but it doesn't hold a candle to some of the Pixar movies.
Yeah, I'm watching these other movies, and then Wild Robot comes up, and I'm not the only one. Mackenzie loses interest too.
Yeah.
She'll get scared and startled in some scenes.
Oh yeah.
Some scenes we're watching, I'm like, ooh, so you know what? I get like so jacked up. I'm like, you understand what the fuck's going on here?
Oh, Onward. I guess that's more of a guy animation movie because it's about two brothers and like their relationship with their father and stuff. But Onward's a great one. That's Chris Pratt and Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
Hey, speaking of Chris Pratt, they got. I will check out Onward. They're doing Terminal List is up soon, huh?
Yep.
The
prequel series, I think, comes out soon, and then I think they're shooting season 2 of when he's Jimbo Reese for maybe next year.
There's my wife was watching this competition thing on Peacock. Destination X, maybe. Have you seen this?
Mm-mm.
They're living in a bus in Europe. Big bus, extended bus with a bunch of bunks. I think they're also in trains. Everything's blocked in. Like they can't see out. And then they're dropped off in a place and then they have to figure out where the fuck they are. And it's like that's kind
of cool.
Yeah, it's great. Who's the actor that hosts that? The actor that hosts it really loves the show. Like when he's hosting and talking, he is like, Jeffrey Dean is his name.
What's his name from?
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Thank you.
He's doing like voiceovers to movies in this thing, as opposed to just hosting.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he is very good at hosting. He's got me tied in. Well, now I have you. He's doing that whole thing. And I'm like, all right, I'm bought into this. Good idea. They're living on this bus though, driving through Europe. I don't know how he gets around those roads.
Can we get mid on this?
Roads are small. So we've been talking about this. This is a big conversation this weekend. Mitt is built for one of these shows that is currently happening.
Love Island.
It's kind of a revolution of this used to be the thing. Road rules, challenges, real world.
Amazing Race.
It used to be Amazing Race. It's coming back in a big way with all these streaming platforms. Everybody has one, at least one, that has become good. And Foxy watches Love Island religiously.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't love the show, but my wife loves it. And they shoot it all at PTZs, and allegedly they turn it around like week of, so then you're interactive with it. So you can vote people off. I don't like this couple. Boom, we're splitting you up. I don't like this person. Boom, you're gone. I haven't witnessed that.
People power.
Yes, which is pretty cool.
Finally.
My takeaway is just the vibe and the aura and how the people act in it. Mitt would be perfect for the show.
But no, I need Jeffrey Dean Morgan to be like, where are you, Mitt? And he'd go, Hobby Dobby.
This is the mountains. No, it's a desert. They're pretty good. You got to put like a pin on a map where you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're in the Alps, the episode that I saw, no spoilers. But I think you know why you're watching. I wasn't paying attention enough. I thought the show was going to be shit.
Sure.
Did you notice they have to wear seatbelts while they're in the bus?
I didn't.
So
No.
next time you watch, when they're sitting in the bus area, obviously the bus, they're wearing seatbelts across their laps.
So I've seen them laying down a lot. A lot of them are laying down in their bunks.
The upper part's the bus, or the
Is the
bunks,
lounge.
and then below, and then the map room's connected.
Because there's a couple that are thinking about
Yeah.
Jumping.
hopping.
Think about having one together.
Yeah, they are thinking about having one.
Yeah. Hey.
I mean, that's what I'm sure they cast it for that to happen.
For people to have some?
Yeah.
Think about having one.
For people to have one with many different partners. Yeah.
Imagine in that bus turning some European turn like this, and you're just inside or having one. Could happen.
You know the producers are grabbing people and say, like, you two need to think about having one.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know why you're here?
Because you two need to have one. Or at least think about having one.
You need to go up to the top lounge. Let's get a couple. Have one.
Yep, have one.
Think about having one.
Go down to the bunks.
Maybe have one.
And then head into that map room, and why don't you?
Maybe have one in there as well.
We should be thinking about
having one in there in the map room.
All right, so we're going to get mid on one of these shows.
Mm-hmm.
What are these style of shows called? Reality shows? That's what I call them.
Yeah.
Reality competition. There it is.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
Would he be good on Traders?
Yes. Anything. He'd be good on anything. I don't think he would last long on Traders.
Traders is great.
Traders is a great one.
Survivor.
You're trying to vote who is.
I don't think he's lasted long on much, to be fair.
Yeah.
Love Island, I think, I've never seen it, but it sounds like Foxy.
Yeah, marquee for Love Island. I can just totally see it now, just the way he would go about his business, maybe with one girl or maybe even another girl, and then the fans would fall in love with him, and we got to keep this guy around.
He might win Big Brother.
I love Clarissa, but then I saw Alyssa come in.
That's literally the show right there.
What was the other one? Fuckboy Island? Or is that too...
Is that still happening?
On the nose?
I have not watched that one.
Oh, it's still happening.
That's
a show?
I thought it was.
Hey, zoom in on Mitt. What's his reaction to all this? If we could see it out. Yeah, put me on Love Island. I love love. Everybody knows I love love.
Fuck yeah.
I fucking love love, dude. Thumbs up.
He's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I've been working out too. I'm ready. Are they on a beach? I'll fucking take my shirt off.
Let's go.
Mitt's been getting after it. Mitt has legit shoot been getting after it.
He's very in shape. Yeah.
He is.
Nice. Just because?
Yeah, I think he spends a couple hours in there a day. Legitimately.
Some days are
trying to
2 days.
protect himself.
He's doing 2 days on Sundays?
No, some days, like more than once a week, he does it.
Yeah, I mean, he's in there getting after. He's getting ready for Love Island.
Yeah.
Legit.
He's thinking about having
He's got to
one.
be jacked to be on that show.
Should have.
Well, when they were talking to him about coming on, they said, "Hey, Mitt, you need to."
You need to have one. You're the type of guy who should always be thinking about having one, and you also need to have a couple as well.
Squid Games? That's not a bad reality show.
That's coming out soon.
Yeah, the second half. I think next week actually.
Squid Games reality?
No, the like finale of.
Did
the
I
show.
finish the last actual
I never
season?
watched it.
I don't think you guys did because we never got into it. We never actually had one with that show.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff
A
not
lot of
having
people
it.
said it was very underwhelming.
Yeah,
compared to the first season.
They tried to take it in a different.
No, the second
Remember?
season is good. The problem is they made it 7 episodes and turned it into 2, like part 1 and part 2 of season 2, basically.
That's right.
So like now when this next part comes out, then I would recommend watching it. But I would definitely not recommend watching it now because it ends on a cliffhanger. It's gonna fucking piss you off because how do you have a cliffhanger 7 episodes in when you should just go to 10 and then finish the whole thing? But Squid Games is like continuing to. They're not just done with the show after this. They're doing like a America Squid Games. They're doing a Squid Games 1.
Squid Games reality competitions?
No, actually.
Because they've already done that. Remember, we watched
Yeah.
that rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, actually part of the show instead. Not like in the Squid Games show universe. They're like going back in time to the first ever Squid Games. They're going to America for Squid Games. But they are, I believe, making another reality show season of the Squid Games.
And what did I do? I put dub on that, right? I had him speaking English to me.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
With the captions. I didn't mind it. I got into the first one. Never finished Avatar 2.
Don't need to.
Isn't 3 coming out?
Those whales.
Yeah,
Just didn't like
Fire and Ice or
Somewhere
something.
between like 5 to 10 years from now. Yeah.
All right, so we both got the Pacers tonight. We have an ask in for JJ Spawn for tomorrow.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see if that comes through.
Oh, yeah.
Not like the best relationship with the PGA, but we'll see.
New leadership.
See what
coming in.
happens.
Oh, yeah, from where?
I believe the NFL.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats to Mr. Rolop.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats.
He was supposed to be the next. Everybody you talk to says, good executive, this guy. Good executive, this guy. Good executive, this guy. I got a chance to chat with him. I came away very impressed. Good one of these. Got ideas. Boom, 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 boom. I think you're probably not at that height at the NFL with how much money they're making without being incredibly impressive. So now he's the commissioner
Yeah.
of
PGA.
PGA.
Yep.
Congrats to him. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially with where the PGA is right now, what they're trying to get accomplished, everything that has to take place. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. Good luck. You're the right man for the job, Brian.
Mm-hmm. Boy, Brian.
Would be cool to get JJ on, though. But that's not even a PGA event, right? That was a
No, that's a USGA.
USGA event or whatever. So hopefully they're able to come through. If not, watching JJ this weekend was electrifying. Watching them all get so pissed off. It's crazy.
All of them.
I learned a lot about Oakmont, man. I'm from, obviously, Plum. Plum is a majority of the golf course. I think they showed it on the map there. But, like, the thought of joining Oakmont Country Club was never a reality. Like, that was like an untouchable place, basically. We're at the public course next door. Behind those trees over there, that's where the good people go.
It goes down.
You guys go ahead and stay over here, whatever. But then I started watching it and learning about it. And, like, I appreciated the fact that the Pittsburgh Hills were beating shit out of these golfers. Like, I started, like, feeling like a sense of pride. And I assume that's how the members feel. I think that's probably how the members feel out there.
Yeah, they play it all the time because it's generally known as the hardest course in America. So, yeah, they love that shit because they are the members there and they get to play there all the time. It was awesome. Everyone was so... What did Shane Lowry say? I fucking hate this place.
This place. Fuck this place.
Yeah, twice, right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Wyndham fucking beat the lockers up.
Yeah, beat the shit out of those lockers.
Rory threw 3 clubs, one back to himself.
Yep.
That was awesome stuff.
I mean, it was just Oakmont won, and then Pittsburgh won, obviously, with the rain and everything. That's when you need Joe Nardo. Rest in peace. Joe Nardo could have wrangled those Skywaters a little bit.
He could have.
And say, hey, we got the U.S. Open. But when you create the Doppler, obviously you're going to get special privileges. Rest in peace, Joe Nardo. We certainly missed you. But when they pulled that Doppler up on the screen and they were reading the red dots, I was like, this is when.
Yeah.
This is when we most miss Joe Nardo.
Love you, Joe.
You're right. You're so
Rest in
right.
peace, Joe.
Rest in peace, Joe.
Miss you, Joe.
Because Joe would have said, hey, it's going to rain. Get the squeegees quick.
Mm-hmm.
And these squeegees maybe would have been out like 30 seconds earlier.
Would
You
have
never
made a
know.
difference.
Especially with the way Burns are sitting in that water a little bit.
Couple tarps, maybe?
And then there was one part of the golf course that it was raining, and another part that it was Sonny, it's like, welcome to Pittsburgh, baby. But Donardo would have been able to say, rest in peace, Joe.
Mr. Joe.
Joe would have been able to say, if you're on holes 5, 8, 9, and 13, probably got a little bit of sunshine. Everywhere else need an umbrella. That's Joe Donardo football.
That's right.
We missed you this weekend, Joe.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, every weekend.
Love you, Joe.
Yes, every weekend. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Especially on Father's Day. He was like a father to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And he fathered the Doppler.
Yeah.
And weather.
Father.
Why isn't it called the Donardo then?
Father.
Because he's selfless.
Humble.
It's true. You're right. And you're right.
He's a Yinzer, which
They wanted to. They wanted to name it the Donardo, and he said he actually turned him away.
Yeah. His son named it.
Bill Doppler.
No, Doppler Donardo's his boy.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Named after his boy.
There's got to be some people out there, their first name's Doppler, and their parents were just real big fans.
Well, when Joe Nardo was working that thing, it was hard not to be.
Yeah.
Legit. Rest in peace, Joe. But
Sex symbol of the weatherman.
The weather, no.
Well, that's why somebody.
He was the depiction of a meteorologist / weatherman.
And sex.
Yeah,
I mean, if you liked weather, yeah, for sure, Donardo would be able to deliver for you, however you want it.
Exactly.
But it was beautiful that Oakmont showed up. So I looked into it. 560 members, I think we found out.
Yeah.
560 members. There's an initiation fee, a monthly fee, and then a food stipend each year you got to pay. And it's like, is it like the Augusta of North? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the most
It's a bunch.
famous courses in the world.
Up there, Bethpage.
I know next to nothing about it just because it was like seemingly so untouchable. Tone worked there, got fired.
Yep.
So that's kind of how I think we assume the relationship would always be with people from where we're from will go there and get kicked out of there, and then everything else will be good. But I had a sense of pride in that place.
Me too. And I only got in there because my uncle's caddied there for like 30 years, so I ruined that whole thing. But no, it was awesome to watch.
We'll talk about the buckets and the head start.
Yep.
We talk about that head
Tone
start
had
that
one.
some people
Yeah, I
have.
did.
Tone had one. That doesn't happen.
No, I said caddying. This is too easy. I went and did landscaping instead. No, it was awesome.
Good play, Tone.
The Michael Keaton thing that they ran was awesome, and then like the overheads, they showed like the turnpike running through there, which for those that don't know, what
keep going
is the highway that runs basically through Pennsylvania all the way over to Philly. It's 76. It was awesome to see.
You know what else was amazing they put a spotlight on? Fucking Pudge. Listen.
They talked about Pudgy Wudgy.
Nobody, not Pudgy Wudgy, who was the cat that passed away.
Oh, you're right.
That was a Plum mascot.
Rest in peace.
Great cat. He
lived
lived right across the street from Oakmont Country Club. Pudgy Wudgy's owner actually just rented out parking spots on his land and made enough money for the entire year to take Pudgy Wudgy, his cat, to every sporting event that Plum Mustangs had. And
I thought you were talking about Pudgy Wudgy.
I'm talking about Pudge, dude. Did you see this? Who's snorting? Pudgy Wudgy is a famous cat from where we're from. Pudgy Wudgy was
Like a real cat? Like a real cat?
Yes. And Pudgy Wudgy's owner was certainly, he had a lot of pizzazz.
Okay.
Had a lot of pizzazz. Pudgy Wudgy was a big-time fan of Plum Mustangs athletics. He was always there. I believe rest in peace to Pudgy Wudgy and pizzazz having owner.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Was the cat a fan, or was the owner of the cat a fan?
I think if you asked Pudgy Wudgy about me, I think they would have too meowed. I think it was a lot of my, because I was playing a lot of sports, so I saw a lot of Pudgy Wudgy. But Pudgy Wudgy was before me, and Pudgy Wudgy was after me.
Sure.
Pudgy Wudgy will be forever. Just like fucking Pudge, who had the touchdown, the game-winning touchdown in the first ever professional football game, which was in downtown Pittsburgh. Love that NBC spotlighted that. I certainly knew this was real.
Yeah.
I certainly knew this.
4-0. Yeah, it was an absolute classic.
4-0.
On November 12th, 1892, at Recreation Park, a few blocks northwest of here, which is right outside of Acrisure Stadium, formerly known as Heinz Field, down there at the shore, the Allegheny Athletic Association, Allegheny, the county in which Pittsburgh resides, defeated the Pittsburgh Athletic Club, PAC, still around, 4-0. The winning touchdown was scored by William Pudge Heffelfinger. And listen, when Pudge got the rock, it was fucking problematic for everybody. He received $500 for playing. He was the first football player known to have been paid outright, and Pro Football traces its origin from this game right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Dog.
The more you know.
More you know.
Here's Pudgy Wudgy, the cat that was very supportive of Plum Mustangs. These are all the newspaper articles.
Oh, man.
Wow. Yeah, there's the owner with pizzazz. And there's Pudgy Wudgy down there at the Heinz History Center.
What the hell is this?
This is Pudgy Wudgy, who was a cat. Pudgy Wudgy was all that. Pudgy Wudgy loved Plum. You're asking questions.
Is that Kennywood?
Sound like a bump. Kennywood, dude. Kennywood. That's Pudgy Wudgy. Got it right.
The homepage says the online home of Allegheny Valley's most famous cat from 1986-2001.
Rest in peace, 2001. Okay. And there's the owner right there.
That's Frank.
So he just showed up to high school games with a cat?
He held the sticks. He held the chains.
Pudgy Wudgy,
What do you
one
mean?
cat.
What do you mean he held your sticks?
No, the
First time. First time.
Okay.
And he always just had the cat in his arms?
Yeah.
Pudgy Wudgy went everywhere.
Get out of here.
All right.
I think he was the first person ever to dress up a cat.
And Pat was not lying. His house was a very, very small house that was right across the street from Oakmont, but he had a huge field and just charged parking every time the Open came and made a
Ton of money. Was able to dress up his cat for years.
Yeah.
Every time the U.S. Open would come back, he'd be like, well, time to make money again.
Yeah.
$4,000 a spot. It's right across the street. Right, like there's a bridge you walk over right to his property. He's like, this guy hit a fucking home run. And he liked to give back, especially to Pudgy Wudgy. Universe Ball.
What a weird place we came from.
Plum? Yeah. You're just now starting to think about it? Start really taking it all in. Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's the home of the Oakmont Country Club. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I did not know that it was all Plum.
Yeah.
Until I saw that map. I'm like,
Yeah,
Plum has a fucking U.S. Open? I didn't know.
I know that because Coach, my father, got a bunch of tickets because he runs the Plum Water Authority.
Anthony DiGiulio.
And he gets free tickets every Open because he's got to deal with getting the water in the waste out.
Of course he does. Thank you, Coach, for doing
Legend.
that. Papa DiGiulio working at the Water Authority.
Yeah.
Is this for the Pacers or?
Pudgy Wudgy's dead, so this won't keep it alive.
Okay.
Well, maybe it could be for like that owner, not
24 years.
What's so funny?
So he's coming back. I thought for sure this was going to bring Pudgy Wudgy back to life after 24 years dead.
You don't know Pudgy Wudgy.
Yeah.
Did they stuff him? Did they stuff him and put him in your high school somewhere?
that guy did more than stuff him.
Jeez Louise.
Well,
He probably gave him a
good time.
tombstone.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There's probably a memorial.
Yeah, he wasn't just going to stuff his cat.
I think it sounded a little different. All right, this is for the Pacers tonight.
Here we go.
AJ, what's the final score of this game tonight?
Oh, I said 118, 114 last time. I'm going a little bit lower. We're going 111, 107 Pacers.
We'll see. Oh, no.
Maybe.
Connor, what's the final score tonight?
I'm going to go 113, 107.
To who wins?
The Thunder.
Oh, no, we'll see.
Almost essentially mismade that.
Almost. Yeah, that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Me too.
Tie, final score.
109, 104 Pacers.
We'll see. Oh. Tone?
117 to 88.
Who's that?
OKC.
Jeez.
88.
We'll see.
Jeez.
Uh-oh.
Well.
Didn't even touch the rim.
Well,
Never
what the hell,
shot.
Tony? Listen, I got an adopted Heartland heart, okay?
I hope you're happy.
A Hoosier heart. They're going to lose this game, and then they're going to win 6 and 7.
Okay.
Them boys don't lose back-to-backs, Tony.
Neither do the Pacers.
That's what I mean. No. Them boys being the Pacers.
10 straight. They've won
They just
off
lost.
their loss.
Yeah, but then he said win 6 and 7 as if the Oklahoma City Thunder would lose 2 straight. They don't fucking lose 2 straight either.
No. Something's got to give.
Shit!
Seems like it's given tonight.
I just hope these boys are focused.
Universe already spoke to us.
Good season then.
This isn't a series ender tonight.
Yeah.
You lose 117 to 88, though, maybe.
Yeah, that's about all she wrote. Game 7 in OKC, okay.
I don't like what the Universe did there.
No.
Kind of a bum.
Universe has been wrong before.
Carlisle outcoaches Dago now. It's like all of a sudden we got a whole new.
That's
series.
not his name.
Coach Dags. What happened at the World Series, College World Series?
So we're still kind of just first weekend. Arizona has been eliminated. So they're the only team that got eliminated this weekend. Coastal Carolina is 2-0, so they've put themselves in a good position. And then
they haven't lost 25 games.
They've won 25 consecutive games. Yeah, and they're very good, very good.
Great chain on this guy.
Yep, absolutely. And then it started at 2:00, but the top remaining seed in the tournament, Arkansas, plays the kind of Cinderella's Murray State. That is an elimination game as well. And then if you want like kind of the marquee matchup, UCLA LSU is tonight at 7.
Arkansas is up 1-0 over Murray State. If they were to win, Murray State would be eliminated.
Yep.
And then UCLA LSU double elimination round. We shall see when they get started.
LSU, Arkansas started the tournament as your favorite. LSU is now your favorite at plus 125. Coastal Carolina, who started this thing at plus 700, is now plus 185. They have moved up to.
College World Series is a good time. Turn it on. Tink.
Yep.
You know, here, pour a little tink. Just
exactly.
But yeah,
and then the Rocco's stuff happening. I guess they had to shut down.
Yeah, they
early.
did. They did the other
People are
night.
getting a little too rowdy.
Yep. That's going to happen when you're, encouraging people to buy 60,000 plus Jello shots. Some people are going to take it a little bit too far.
Especially if you're putting stuff in said Jello shots.
Correct.
There's a chance that if you're spurring competition at a competitive event, and then there's some booze getting added into, every once in a while there's probably going to be some words.
Yeah.
And to that we'd like to say, let's put our swords down.
Exactly.
Let's enjoy College World Series in Omaha. This Rocco's gimmick is brilliant.
Yes.
We talked about Pudgy Wudgy and Frank selling those parking
Rest in
spots outside of Oakmont Country Club. Rest in peace to both of them.
Frank.
Yeah.
That was
Frank
a great
died?
move. Yeah, Frank's dead.
Frank Furco, rest in peace.
Wait, he died right after Pudgy Wudgy couldn't handle it? He just died as well?
Yes.
Yeah, Frankie.
Broken heart. Pudgy Wudgy's death was the final
But
straw.
his wife probably still alive, though.
No.
I don't
Pudgy
know
was
if
his
he's
wife.
married, Frank. I've never seen.
He was
I don't
married
know.
to
He might
Pudgy.
have been. I'm not.
What, Con?
He was married to
Pudgy Wudgy currently has a mural. Obviously, you can see it near the turnpike there.
Yeah, I'm sure that's still there.
Doesn't look superimposed at all. That looks very real. And Frank Furco had the mural painted to remember his beloved cat, who was a master of tricks. KDK's Dave Crawley is reporting from Plum Borough, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Tricks that would make your head turn.
Pudgy Wudgy was a cat. Pudgy Wudgy was all that.
He loved chip ham. Do tricks for chipped ham.
Do more than tricks.
Jeez.
He
What
wouldn't.
about peanut butter? Have a lot of that
peanut
around?
butter, yeah.
That's cat, not a dog. I don't know what you guys are implying,
little
but
bit of tartar
nonetheless,
sauce.
Well,
the
Furco.
Jello thing, Rocco's Jello shots, great gimmick, just great
Yeah.
gimmick, unbelievable. I respect it, and we can't wait to try one someday.
Yeah.
West Virginia was close.
They were.
Is Iowa ever getting in this?
They've actually won a College World Series before. It's tough. I mean, the Big Ten just anymore isn't really. They had a pretty good shot this year, but no, they did not make it.
West Virginia has like a real chance for this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
How about Duquesne? You guys got any shots to get into the World Series?
Duke's baseball, not the best sport that we have.
How about Michigan State? You guys good at baseball?
No, I don't think they've ever been great.
Fairfield actually nasty.
Fairfield Stags?
Yeah, they were
D1?
Yeah, D1. They were top 25 at one point this year. I think they almost won their conference, but they didn't make it to regional.
I'm just trying to figure out how we get there. Ohio State good, AJ?
Oh, yeah, they're good.
He doesn't know.
Nope.
Feels
no
like
idea.
that's a no.
You have no idea.
Yeah, probably don't, but they're good. Good players over there.
Probably don't.
I don't know how they're doing this year. Nick Swisher played there when I was there.
Yeah,
He
Stags
played in
hell
the
of a
majors for a long
player.
time.
Hell of a player.
Stags
It's Nick Swisher Field now.
All right, Stags in West Virginia have a shot to get us to Omaha. Got a lot of people out there in Omaha. Coach Rule's out there in Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
McGee's always out there.
McGee's always out
yeah.
there.
During NBA Finals, it's tough here.
Yeah.
It's a little tough.
Yeah, well, hopefully they, get it done this year. Just 'cause.
Ryan McGee tweeting from the World Series. Last time Coastal Carolina lost the game was April 22nd. That was 7 weeks, 5 days, and an entire Pepsi ago. What the fuck's Pepsi mean, I asked. Looked it up. Changing of the Pope.
Yep.
It's great usage of the word.
Oh, yeah.
Bifurcate?
Mm-hmm.
Bifurcate.
Bifurcate, yeah.
Bifurcate, to split into two.
Correct.
Sever.
That's our new nickname in the office for Billy Tubes.
All right.
Billy, bifurcate.
No,
I like it.
He's taking photos now.
Taking photos of bodies.
No, he's jacked up right now, breaking chains. He's jacked up. He's working out like 3 times a day.
Well, yeah, because a couple got away.
Yeah, he's got to bifurcate a couple more people.
Bill, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair at all, Bill.
That's never happened again.
That is not fair. All right, let's get out of here. AJ, thank you for today. Boys in the back, great work. What a great Overreaction Monday. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm off this evening on Monday Night Raw. Green Bay, Wisconsin, home of the Green Bay Packers. NBA Finals game. I've also been on the road since like Dublin.
Yep.
I'm doing a sleep. I'm doing a sleep.
This is the last week of sports.
I'm doing a sleep.
This is the last week of sports. That's crazy to think about.
Still got a lot of soccer tournaments.
Oh, we're in the middle of one. The CONCAFA Pod boys went down to a game in Miami. Yep. Oh my God, most electrifying tournament in the history. We're going to have a World Cup of club teams for $100 million. The boys are going to want to play. That's a lot of money. And it's all clubs from all different leagues. MLS players are going to take on Premier League players. And then La Liga players are going to take on Bundesliga players. And the whole world is going to battle for $100 million. And it's happening in the United States of America. There was a game in Cincinnati. Team won 10-0. Yeah. Team won 10-0. They were playing against a TST team that was literally putting players together. They had full-time jobs. Somehow they get in this $100 million TST tournament. Down in Miami, Lou Messi was playing.
Okay, Lou.
We knew it was going to be electrifying because Lou was taking the pitch. We knew it was going to be awesome because $100 million was on the line. Had to send the CONCAFA boys down there. Jeff Cameron, U.S. men's national team legend, Premier League player. Breck Shea, U.S. men's team player, legend, MLS legend. High school, legend. Soccer, legend. And Bubba Campino. Guys made all the reservations, went down there. How was it? Was it awesome to watch the World Cup Super Duper Club Championship for $100 million in Miami?
It was an incredible atmosphere down there in Miami. The performance before the game, the show, just the atmosphere. 61,000 people were there. There was 80,000 people at the Rose Bowl for Atletico Madrid and PSG. 0-0 match.
What?
But the score doesn't tell the story. The Inter Miami goalie stood on his head. If you watch the game, the Inter Miami goalie saved the penalty. They gave away about 10 breakaways. Messi hit the crossbar late in the game. It was a very good match.
Lou, we need you to score. If you don't score, nobody else is scoring. That's why they give you $1 billion. It's soccer, Lou. What happened in the 10-0 game? How come that isn't happening more often? We like that. Touchdown, field goal.
Yeah.
Stifling defense.
Yeah, Auckland City, their players had to take vacations from their real jobs to play Bayern Munich. So, yeah, they lost 10-0. Could have been worse.
I believe Bill was bifurcating his time this weekend between Indianapolis and Cincinnati to watch that particular game. He was in the building. What happened in the other games? Were they electrifying?
The Seattle Sounders game was probably the best game of the weekend. They lost 2-1 to one of the Brazilian teams.
Oh, we lose.
But we got, in about 15 minutes here, Chelsea against LAFC.
Whoa, where at? In LA?
I believe it is. It's Olivier Giroud. Used to play for Chelsea, actually. He's on LAFC, so we'll see what happens.
How's Chelsea these days? Is Chelsea still Chelsea, or is Chelsea down with the Burnley League?
They're still in the Premier League. They spend about $1 billion every offseason and come like 6th or 8th in the league. It's a good plan.
Okay, what's that, Tone?
Chelsea and LAFC is down in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, they got grass over the pitch, I wonder, down there.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it shouldn't piss me off as much as it does.
What?
They should not be allowed to play at the Rose Bowl. We kind of had this conversation before the show.
Just won the
Fuck
Champions
that,
League, brother.
okay? That fucking grinds my gears. PSG, I get it. And yes, they won the Champions League against a bunch of drunks from Italy, I believe is what the terminology was with Inter. Fuck off, man, okay? The Rose Bowl is the granddaddy of them all. That is legitimately made for only football, and I get the whole grass thing. And
they had 80,000 there.
I don't give a fuck if 200,000 people are going there. They should not be able to play anything but the Rose Bowl at the Rose Bowl. I thought
UCLA plays their whole season there.
But that was just because they're building the stadium, correct?
No.
Aren't they?
No,
okay,
they've always.
Okay, fine, but they're playing football. American football.
Let me change.
Hold on.
No, I did see a lot of reaction of like, they're putting soccer in the Rose Bowl. And then you look at the scenes, it was like, God damn, they filled that place up. And obviously it looked beautiful. And you think about the grass that's on the Rose Bowl, it's like,
don't mess that.
Really nice.
That is beautiful grass over there. I assume the soccer players got on there and like, Jesus, This is nice grass we are.
They better have said that.
I think they did. I think they did a lot of thank yous.
One guy was a little upset. He said it was too hot.
See, bitching and moaning already.
About the Rose Bowl?
Yeah, it was an interesting
About
statement.
the Rose Bowl?
Guy on Atletico Madrid said they shouldn't have been playing in the middle of the day.
Well, they should arrest him on the spot.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of hearing your mouth, guy.
It's ridiculous.
He just don't know no better.
Yeah, no, he don't. And he should say that. Fucking you hire me.
Let's get out of here. Be a friend, tell a friend, something nice that might change your life. Shout out to soccer. Thank you for the update, Gumpy. Also, the CONCAFA pod is a good one. It's Gumpy, Jeff, and Breck. If you want to know anything about soccer, it's a good place to talk to. And also, they were a part of some of the Christian Pulisic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of journalism happening from the boys. You know, Christian Pulisic might have been unfairly judged by us.
Certainly. But someone's got to do it.
Yeah, don't care.
Someone's got to judge him.
Don't take. Guess what? Take the Captain America nickname away then.
Well, he wanted to, but he couldn't do. There was a couple things that just didn't line up. He wanted to, though.
Okay, well then take Ponch out back and shoot him in the head. I don't know.
They're thinking about it.
No, I can't have that.
They
Ponch.
won 5-0 last night. Trinidad Tobago.
Yeah.
Diego Luna.
It shouldn't be this hard to root for a fucking team that dons the stars and stripes, but it is, okay? And that's a problem.
They're trying to figure it out right now.
That's the start and end of this argument.
Listen, whenever you fire a coach in a regime a year and a half before the World Cup starts, there's going to be a lot of quick things that we have to go through. He's trying to find his guys. He actually, I think, had a quote that was like, there's a lot of talent that isn't here, but they have to learn how to fight before they become a full team. Ponch is trying to find his culture here. All right, am I not accurate in saying that?
Yeah, that Malik Tillman kid who scored both. He scored 2 goals. He looked very good last night.
I actually like what he's doing. He's clean. Let's get my lads in here.
Stars and stripes.
There's going to be some shit. There's going to be some trying times. I saw, I forget who it was, maybe Seton O'Connor.
We've had trying times, man.
I know, but that's exactly. He's trying to get us out of the trying times, man.
By going back into the trying times?
No, he has to eliminate the trying times. He has to see who is the cause of the trying times and get new people that'll get us out of the trying times. That's what he's trying to do.
We have guys that are capable of getting us out of the trying times.
Were they a part of the trying times?
I don't know.
I think they were a part of the trying times.
I thought we've been done with the trying times since Prolific.
No, we've been in the trying times. Remember, that's why we're currently in the middle of the situation we're in right now.
Those trying times were supposed to be good times. I thought that was all because the gaffer was shite.
Yeah, but they weren't good times. They were trying times.
Well, how do you know you're in the trying times?
The good times are all the times. If you really look at it, there's always a silver lining. But for the U.S. men's national team, there hasn't been a lot of good times for some time.
No.
Berhalter tried to leave and then circled back and came back to be the coach.
There's a lot of shit.
I thought Berhalter left, and then they were like, "No one wants this fucking job. We have to give it back to him."
You know how a new GM comes into a building and says this is all shite.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I got to figure this out. Imagine having to do that in a 6-month period.
That's what Ponch is doing.
That's what Ponch is doing right now.
Okay, great.
It might not work.
So we're fucked, is what I.
Isn't the team kind of set already?
Yeah.
No, very far.
Not at all. That's what he's.
Okay, good.
He's casting wide net right now. He's like, I need to find dogs more than I need to find anything else.
The Packers roster set.
Go try to get a USA passport for some of these guys overseas.
We did that already. We did that with a bunch of German kids that were born on military bases. That didn't work out for us either. Yeah. Then we got a bunch of kids that grew up in the camps and academies in Europe at the good clubs. That didn't work either. So Ponch, I think, is trying to find dogs. I think that is what he's trying to find.
Well, I heard when Ponch leaves the team he's coaching, the year after they do really good.
So is that a compliment to the coach or an indictment on the coach?
I don't know.
Who built the culture?
I just know they're not winning with Ponch. They're
He
winning
took
after.
Spurs to the Champions League final, then they went down the shitter for quite a while.
You ever heard of that?
Is this the Champions League where if your team's good, you can buy players, or is this the National League where fucking you only get the guys inside your borders?
Well, that's what I just said, though, about the military. We were
I
exercising some clauses for sure to get guys on our team. Didn't work.
But they were dogs.
Were they?
Was that
Jermaine Johnson was.
Was that the last time we went past the fucking first round of the knockout stage?
We've been round of 16.
I just think Ponch is trying to find his team. We just need to let him find his team. Because I like the way he's talking. We need more fight. He's saying we need more dogs. And also, we don't need the American team flopping.
Yeah.
The thing that America's people hate the most about soccer is the flopping. That is literally, it crept into basketball and flopper. Soccer is where the whole thing. I think the reason why a lot of football people hate soccer is because they look like they got killed. AJ's reaction to to a highlight that got sent into the group was, I hope number 9 was able to stand up after losing his leg the way he did when he got a little bit. So like the USA team can't have to be.
Yeah, no bitching and whining.
You have to match.
Yeah.
The guy who got taken out, Suarez, actually can barely stand at this point in his career either. His knees are not great.
That's what we like.
Yeah.
Dogs. Ponch is looking for dogs.
Okay.
But you don't think he's going to find them?
Nope.
It's USA.
No, I don't think there's a chance unless we're pulling
5-0 up over Trinidad.
Unless we're pulling Jeremiah
Tobago.
Smith off the practice field. I don't think
Not
we're
just
getting
one
the
country.
guys to get us there.
I think if you do get these young guys playing well in this Gold Cup tournament, and then you add the other players.
What is this, the under-20 team that they're playing here? Do we know?
It's just a lot of MLS players and some young guns.
Yeah, because we have national teams, obviously, at every age. Bam, 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 bam. There's national teams. Then there's pools and then this whole thing. So I think he is
But Jeff also said he never played in the Gold Cups when he was playing in England either.
I'm selling all my U.S. soccer stock.
Don't.
I'm just telling you.
No, hold. Hold. We just won 5-0. You should have sold a week ago.
If we play Trinidad and Tobago every single game, we're gonna be fucking good, man. I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, we got who? Saudi Arabia next.
Yeah, who we got next?
All eyes on Gumpy.
Saudis.
Got to be Saudi.
Saudi, Bruce said.
Yeah, we got Saudi Arabia next.
Ronaldo?
That'll be a tough match.
Ronaldo's Portugal. He just won a title, a super duper international.
Doesn't he play in Saudi, though? He plays in Saudi or for Saudi.
Yeah, he's an employee of the Saudi Soccer League where he makes $750 million a year or whatever.
Correct.
But he represents Portugal. They just hosted a trophy. They beat Spain.
Nations League.
They're super duper
What's
nation.
Saudi doing in the Gold Cup?
I can't figure
joined us.
that out either. It's because they're hosting the World Cup years from now. I don't get that one.
We understand.
Yeah,
This fucking sport.
I missed that one.
No, you knew.
Minus 145 USA against Saudi.
Uh-oh,
TST
did we
guy.
find the guys?
That's the thing. I'm a TST guy.
TST's great soccer.
This soccer sucks.
The U.S. actually invited the Saudis as an outreach program for CONCAFA.
Oh, great.
What are you, Graton?
It's just another team that we should beat and might lose to.
I like that you put the hockey helmet on top of the Lario as if it's going into hibernation for an offseason because the Boston Celtics aren't there anymore.
Yeah, well, I put the hockey helmet on it because I don't want you thinking about it like some of the players on the Indiana Pacers seem to be.
Oh, you think the Indiana Pacers are distracted by Lario?
Yeah, I think they need to just think about the next dribble, the next free throw,
We
perhaps.
need to get out of here. We've been here way too long. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. We're back tomorrow. You all are the greatest. Hope you had a great weekend. Have a great evening. Go Pacers. Me and AJ both on the Pacers money line. The universe says Oklahoma City with the universe shot.
Right.
We hope that that's wrong. That was pure though.
Sure.
Very much so.
That was like the purest I've shot.
Yeah.
What's that all about? We'll figure it out tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change your life. Run this thing together. Team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.